Want more power? Try Valvoline SynPower Complete Fuel System Treatment. Cleans your entire fuel system with advanced synthetic technology.
You drive like number 2.
You mean number 2 Penn State? LeVar Arrington is so ready for Ohio State, it's not even funny.
Gospel Ball ABC.
Back in Atlanta, Georgia Tech, North Carolina just underway. North Carolina burned a timeout. Georgia Tech looking at 3rd down, a long one. Joe Hamilton with time and a man. It's Des White, his favorite target. Midfield, it's a 1st down. Georgia Tech's offense is good, real good. Best in the nation good. Up front, John Carmen at right tackle has won Lineman of the Week in the ACC 3 consecutive weeks. Des White averages over 30 yards a catch, and Ed Wilder is an important part of that offense. And it's Wilder leading the way for Philip Rogers. On a 1st down carry, he's inside North Carolina territory to the 47-yard line. The Tar Heel defense is really struggling. Dead last right now in the ACC. This front 4 has got to put some pressure on Hamilton. They are very, very young. Peace, the only senior up front. Mercedes Perry, we talked about him, a good middle linebacker and a young secondary. 3 sophomores in there. They have been tested and have lost most of those tests so far this year. Philip Rogers inside the 40. He's down to the 38-yard line.
Well, they've run 2 counter trade plays right in a row. Little counters up inside, trying to establish some sort of a running game. Mercedes Perry is down on the field with an injury. He had come out actually when run support had broken down on the outside. He had gotten out very quickly to make the play. Cut the running back off, but did not, must have twisted an ankle or something. Let's take a look at him if we can see if another look at it, see what he does here. You see him there, number 54 in the center of your screen, getting outside after Sean Gregory. Just loses it in the turf, and good quickness though. I hope he's all right for that UNC defense.
Well, that UNC defense had an outstanding middle linebacker when this season started by the name of Brandon Spoon.
Right.
And Perry moved into that middle spot. Spoon injured, and Carl Torbush has lost him for the year. I mean, you talk defense and Carl Torbush. For 10 years, he was Mack Brown's defensive coordinator at North Carolina. And that was the Tar Heels calling card. They put a ton of guys into the NFL. 17 guys in NFL camps over the last 2 seasons, most of them defensive players. So that's obviously not good news that Spoon is on his way out.
So
or rather, Perry is on his way out.
They're supporting his arm. It looks like obviously not a leg situation, which is a big worry, but you see a lot of injuries to the wrist, to forearms. Now, you're right talking about Perry. He's a guy that when he stepped in for Spoon, the coaches didn't really want to say he was ready. They felt that there was more prep time that he was going to need before he could step in as the starter. He was really forced quicker than he should have been, quicker than they would have liked him to, into the starting role. And he said basically he is basically the closest thing to a leader they've got on that defense.
This may be the closest thing to a Heisman Trophy winner right now in the game. Joe Hamilton is the highest rated passer and the nation's leader in total offense. He'll pitch it. And inside the 30-yard line, Sean Gregory. Quincy Monk made the stop, a 9-yard pickup. Gregory splits time with Philip Rogers at the tailback spot.
Yeah, it really does. A nice job on the offensive line. We're going to start there, led by John Carmen. He's one of the biggest guys you're going to run into out there. But doing a nice job of controlling that line of scrimmage, stringing out that UNC defense.
Boy, this is a quick working offense as Hamilton trying to spin away from Quentin Savage. Gets down to the 25. Twice on this drive, Hamilton has brought the Yellow Jackets to the line of scrimmage, and on a quick snap.
So quick, I wasn't even done talking.
Yeah.
See that? But the UNC defense wasn't even set, and that's certainly one of the things they're looking to do. Keep these guys on their heels, keep them out of position, and boy, half a man off on an alignment can really ruin a defense.
You can see Georgia Tech uses an awful lot of formations. Hamilton to the air and incomplete. Des White made the cut and couldn't hold it.
Well, here's today's Dell Game Solutions. If we take a look at it, Georgia Tech's offense. Stay balanced. They want to keep the run and the pass going, give them that kind of look, and keep their errors percentage under 12. Now, what they do is they take penalties, sacks, turnovers, that sort of things, and they divide it by the number of plays that they had. That's where they get the percentage. If they keep it under 12%, they'll win. North Carolina, control Hamilton and limit big plays. Two very tall orders there.
No one's been able to do that in the 4 times that Georgia Tech has played this year. Inside handoff, Sean Gregory down to the 22-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 7.
Well, we came into this game really hyping Joe Hamilton and what he had to offer this team. And right now he's starting off basically as the leader. You know, not throwing the ball, not really running with it, but, you know, calling the right plays. He makes a lot of audibles at the line himself. He wants to establish a running game before he unleashes.
It is a very complex offense that he runs. He is not just an option quarterback. In case this is your first gander at him. Oh, he'll go down. No, on his feet still. Lost the ball. North Carolina, I think, has it. They do. The Tar Heels, Sean Woodard, who came in for Mercedes Perry. Woodard recovers the fumble.
I'll tell you what, get some young kid off the bench who wanted a chance to start. You get a little excitement out of him. But that's one of the things the UNC defenses wanted to do is get the hits, get some hits on Hamilton. Now watch them. They blitzed both inside backers. They come inside and made the hit, but didn't wrap up. One of the problems that, by the way, that the defense has been having there, Joey Hamilton, with perhaps a wet ball, not being able to keep control.
North Carolina's first possession. Ronald Curry swings it. Algie Crumpler, the big tight end, and Crumpler is out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Our Chili's offense, the starting lineup for North Carolina. The offensive line has given up 18 sacks, 13 in the last 2 weeks. Alan Mogridge as a right tackle is a guy that the coaches say must get better at pass protection. Out are Jason Peace and Corey Bailey. In are 2 freshmen, Sam Aiken and Chelsea Borders. They start at the wide receiver spot. Dion Dyer is Mr. Indispensable in this offense. And on 2nd and short, they give it to Dyer. He's out close to the 30-yard line. First down, North Carolina, as the rain starts again here in Atlanta. Georgia Tech's defense, they bend. They haven't broken too many times this year. Nick Rogers on the outside out of East Point, Georgia, just a sophomore. Matt Uremovich, the leader of this defense. He's a middle linebacker. They missed him last year. He was suspended most of last season. Jeremy Myers gets the start at the free safety spot, replacing Travaris Tillman, who is injured. And a good start for North Carolina. Second man through and still on his feet. This is Anthony Saunders. He's out close to midfield. A gain of 18.
Well, that was just tenacity on Saunders' part. He found a little gap up inside, took a couple of hits, and nobody wrapped up. And this has been one of the complaints by a lot of defensive coordinators across the National Collegiate League is that these guys are just not wrapping up. They're all trying to make the big hits, and they're not wrapping the arms.
From midfield, Curry, little option. He has great speed, and he's inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. North Carolina coaches told us Ronald has to learn not to try to do it all himself. How do they accomplish that?
Well, they're trying to find him some new weapons, some new targets. They're making some changes or moving some people in at wide receiver. You're going to see Chelsea Borders, a freshman, Sam Aiken, a freshman, who are both stepping in for Corey Bailey and Jason Peace, kind of to get some fresh blood and also maybe to light a fire.
Dion Dyer, the big fullback, inside the 35-yard line to the 34.
But you want to know something? Dyer is obviously their big man, the guy that they love to see run the ball. But even the UNC coaches told us, you know, their running game is tenuous at best. They don't really feel that it is that dominating a portion of their offense. But today, they seem to have come in not believing their own words and saying, let's establish a run game and see what we can do off of that.
On 2nd and 5. A nice catch by Algie Crumpler. He is close to the first down. It's a gain of 4. He'll be short by about a half a yard.
But one of the things, too, when we talked to North Carolina, one of the ways to control Joe Hamilton is to keep him off the field. The less time he has the ball in his hand, the better off you are. And that's what North Carolina is doing right now with a nice sustained drive.
Third down 1. All alone is Curry. He'll sweep it himself. Has the first down and more. He is in. Touchdown. He stayed in bounds. Ronald Curry.
Wow, nice play. Beautiful play. Nice block on the outside to contain the run support. Algie Crumpler, the tight end. Well, it was a nice block. It had a little bit more cloth than maybe was legal. Watch on the right side of your screen as Curry just takes off. There's the block. You see, and just Curry with that speed. Even the Georgia Tech coach is saying he probably has more flat-out speed than even Joe Hamilton has.
The extra point by Brian Schmitz is good. And all of a sudden, North Carolina is kind of spoiling homecoming, aren't they? On top early, 7-0 North Carolina.
Long ago, an inventor came up with the assembly line, allowing a few people to make a lot of something. It was the model for efficiency. At Chili's, we pride ourselves for our inefficiency, because we make each of the Big Mouth burgers by hand, grilled one at a time by a person. And when you taste for yourself how good they are, you'll appreciate all the time we've wasted. Chili's fresh grilled Big Mouth burgers, monuments of inefficiency.
You know, I wonder if you can fix that truck again.
Retailers like Amazon.com choose Priority Mail. Shouldn't you?
Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
Who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I linked up 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, and 7,000 troops. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
A damp homecoming in Atlanta. And North Carolina, impressively, after the turnover, on 3rd and 1, gets a 30-yard run from Ronald Curry, who walked the tightrope on his way into the end zone. Des White out to the 21-yard line.
Look at it one more time. Curry's going to come towards us. Watch the blocking. Everybody's staying with their block, and Curry just outrunning the last two support guys on the outside. As you said, Rich, tight rope in that sideline and using his speed to take it in.
He's an exceptional athlete. North Carolina has just, I guess, not yet been able to figure out how to focus that athleticism to moving the football. Hamilton's throw is broken up. Flags? No. Georgia Tech certainly wanted them.
Arrow Hood right there to make the play. And, you know, you had to figure that Hamilton was going to come out passing. That first drive of theirs was very conservative. They used the run game. But when North Carolina scored first, I got a feeling those Georgia Tech coaches are going, hey, time for us to get some points going pretty quick.
On 2nd and 10. Option, Hamilton's pitch. Philip Rogers to the 30-yard line. He's short of the first down.
You know, that's one of the great things about Joey Hamilton on this option. He's running with the ball, and not only does he pitch it, but take a look when he pitches it. He carries the ball long enough to even be made contact by the defender. Still has the wherewithal to find his pitch man, get it out there, and get the extra yardage.
3rd down short.
A lot of quarterbacks will just, man, their first sign of danger, they're getting rid of that ball.
Hamilton still has it, and he's got the first down. He is 5'10", 189 pounds. Billy D. Greenwood made the stop.
So what do you call that? Like a quarterback sneak option? I mean, he basically runs a dive up inside, fakes it, and keeps it himself.
That's what makes defensing this Georgia Tech offense so very difficult. Their passing attack they run, Ralph Friedgen is their offensive coordinator, is a pro-style passing attack. But obviously, they do an awful lot of things with the running game as well. Hamilton's throw is complete, caught by White, and he's out to the 45-yard line. Flags are down.
And we got a little face mask. It looked like, I believe it was Tim Burgess out there making the hit, or Arrow Hood. And as they pulled him down, got a hold of that face mask. And
so more yardage for Georgia Tech. Let's head to the studios and John Saunders. John?
Rich here on the Burger King update. Oklahoma and Texas. This is an aerial assault this time around. Josh Heupel, 44 yards to Antoine Savage. Touchdown made it 7-0. They've added a field goal. Now 10-0 Oklahoma. These two teams like to put it in the air now.
Here Joe Hamilton and Georgia Tech on the move. Rogers hammered and stopped. Sherrod Peace made the initial hit. Sunday night on ESPN, the Battle of the Bays. The Green Bay Packers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on ESPN on Sunday. Then Monday night, Mark Brunell and the Jacksonville Jaguars head to the Meadowlands to take on the Jets. The 30th anniversary season of Monday Night Football continues on Monday. Second down 10. Des White in motion. First man Gregory, and Sean Gregory inside the 45 to the 44-yard line.
Now that type of play is so hard to fence if you're not getting penetration by your defense. You start off tackle and that ball just kind of bounces out to the outside, and he has the quicks, enough quicks to get it around that corner, have everybody chase.
George O'Leary in his 5th season, tremendous year last year, 10-2, a win over Notre Dame in the Gator Bowl. Sorry to remind you, Bob.
You know, you keep bringing that up, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Third down. White in motion. Hamilton got his man. The quick hitter to Kelly Campbell. He's down to the 30. Quentin Savage made the stop. First down, Georgia Tech.
You know, we've kept talking about Des White and how good this guy is, but the one thing we've got to remember, they've got some pretty good other wide receivers that take the pressure off. As a matter of fact, if you start watching Des White a little bit too much, you're going to get a pass just like this to Kelly Campbell. That's a nice contact in line, good separation and quicks. The acceleration is what gets him the pass, gets it thrown to him. He gets really good separation and quick acceleration off of that initial contact.
That one goes nowhere as Hamilton ends up in the arms of Cedric Hodge. North Carolina has put a ton of talent in the NFL. First 2 rounds of the NFL draft last 2 years, 6 defenders have gone there. But Carl Torbush says that's a good news, bad news. The bad news, we lost the guys. The good news is if you come to North Carolina, there's a good chance you're headed to the NFL. He's got young guys who he thinks are just as good as the others. They just don't have a whole lot of experience. Hamilton. Tripped up from behind. Anthony Perkins made the stop. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. The United States Army Reserve, be all you can be. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better. Third down this drive. Hamilton's throw is caught, but not enough for the first down.
Well, you know what I'm seeing in this North Carolina defense? I'm seeing something that the coaching staff has been trying to instill. First off, they're swarming. They're all getting after the ball. Secondly, they're tackling. And that has been the one thing that those coaches, for the Tar Heel coaches, have really felt very uncomfortable with, especially up front with the D-line.
40-yarder for Luke Manjay. And it's not that long, and it hits the crossbar. Manjay comes up short. North Carolina has forced a turnover and now a missed field goal. And so far, the Tar Heel defense is keeping the nation's best offense in check. It's 7-0 in Atlanta.
You know, that was actually a good kick.
The oxygen mask will be released, and in case of a sudden craving for the new chicken club from Burger King, an emergency pouch in the seat back in front of you contains one sandwich.
Hey, that's my sandwich.
Give me that sandwich, lady! Just give me the sandwich!
Everybody's craving the new Chicken Club. After all, it's a masterpiece of all-white meat chicken, crispy bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Burger King. Have it your way.
He was a Scottish immigrant who spent a lifetime writing of the beauty he found in all things wild. And through his words, his love, John Muir helped establish our country's national park system. To preserve wonders like these for generations to come. State Farm salutes life heroes because State Farm understands life.
Here you go, boys.
Call. A couple of things to remember. One, a full house always beats 3 of a kind. And 2, Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup. That's more powerful than Ford, more powerful than Dodge. Chevy Silverado. It's the truck.
Shut up.
På forhånd for å få nok til både fiskesuppe og til
Jaguars, Jets, Monday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Ronald Curry and the Tar Heels, a 7-0 lead over Georgia Tech. A couple minutes left, first quarter. On 1st and 10, Saunders outside, across the 30, out to the 31-yard line.
All right, let's get back out and take another look at our Dell Game solutions, at some of these solutions these coaches want for their teams. North Carolina's offense looking for better production out of the wide receivers. That's why we're seeing some of these freshmen stepping up and getting a look. Cut down the turnovers. They are last in the ACC, and that is a big stat. Georgia Tech's defense contain the guy who runs, Ronald Curry, and force them to turn the ball over and punt, which so far is Operka.
Straight ahead, Dion Dyer. Ricardo Wimbush made the stop. Short of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd down and short. Georgia Tech's defense is not a big play defense. Only 3 interceptions. They've forced just 4 turnovers this year.
And how many times have we called them to bend but not break? And that's essentially what North Carolina is doing to them. They're bending them with this continual running game, which we didn't expect. I mean, they're really just kind of knocking away, picking up the first downs, and in the same stroke of the pen, keeping Joe Hamilton off the field.
Curry broke them for a 30-yard touchdown run on the last drive. Saunders off right tackle has the first down. Matt Yaremovich made the stop along with Gunther Kreisen. Let's head back to the studios and John Saunders. John?
All right, Rich, thanks a lot. Purdue and Ohio State. Drew Brees can pass the ball. Here he hands it off to Vinny Sutherland. And guess who's going to catch it and barely keep himself in bounds to tie the game at 7 apiece. For more, go to the Bowl Championship Series online at ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network.
John, certainly Drew Brees is front and center now in the Heisman race, along with Joe Hamilton of Georgia Tech. He has North Carolina on 1st and 10, going back to Anthony Saunders, and he's buried.
You know, it's one thing to try and get the first downs and to establish a running attack, but they have to also try and get the pass game going too. Now, if all you're doing is running the ball, you're going to get that defense to start closing up, bring eight men up in the box, and go and attack the run game. Certainly, at that point, you can start to pass, but it's better to get the balance.
Curry has yet to throw it to his freshman wide receiver, Sam Aiken or Chelsea Borders. Final play, first quarter. To the sidelines, and it's incomplete. And that was the freshman, Chelsea Borders. Couldn't hold it. North Carolina, though, happy after one quarter. They're on top, 7-0. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Meet Carlos Sandoval, veteran Navy SEAL, trained to go through anything, equipped to survive it. Introducing the Chevy S10 Survival Pack. CD, automatic, air, aluminum wheels. Over $1,500 in savings and $1,250 cash back. You might think that could weaken a Navy SEAL. Fat chance. The Chevy S10 Survival Pack. Like a rock.
National Car Rental presents Drive for the National Championship. Over 74,000 watched the 1996 SEC Championship. Alabama and Florida traded touchdowns until Danny Warfel hit a streaking Jaquez Green for an 85-yard touchdown strike, putting the Gators in the lead for good. Florida went on to beat Florida State in the title game and win the national championship. This year's national champion will be crowned in the title game of the Bowl Championship Series.
Hey there, time for a holiday. So switch off your computers and take a national holiday with National Car Rental. Spend some time with National Heroes. Or visit a national treasure. Join the National Football League. Or take your kids to a national park. But wherever you go, National will get you there fast. Because with hundreds of locations nationwide, it's hard to find a place that's not a national city. Whoa! National Car Rental. What are you waiting for? Let's go!
We're out of jelly. I'll go get some more.
All you wanna do is ride around Saturday. All you want to do,
we're out of milk.
Around Saturday.
Anchors Monica Kaufman and John Pruitt, only on Channel 2 Action News.
Homecoming at Georgia Tech. But the number 8 Yellow Jackets are trailing North Carolina as we start the second quarter. Ronald Curry on 3rd down and long. A lot of time for Crumpler, and it's incomplete and almost intercepted by Ricardo Wimbush.
Well, you know, one of the things that from talking to the coaches yesterday that really stood on my mind when we talked to Steve Marshall, the offensive coordinator, and he said that Ronald Curry makes hard plays look easy and makes easy plays look hard. There was an example of the latter.
A low line drive to Marvius Hester at the 16-yard line. Hester outside. Turns the corner at the 33-yard line. Georgia Tech, number 8 in the country, gets the football when we get back.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of the special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $6.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
People are beginning to think of the automobile not just as a family vehicle, but as a personal and individual means of transportation.
The sob of a powerful engine. Now for a moment, imagine yourself as driver of this automobile. You really have to drive it.
At the Chrysler Proving Ground,
Give them an expressway and their drivers are...
I think we made the scenic back roads fun to drive.
Or give them any country or suburban road, rough or smooth. They're the type of people who like the feel of a flying machine.
Who love to drive. The renowned engineers of Chrysler.
A minimum of ornamentation and a minimum of chrome moldings.
She's a regular firecracker. The sounds of nature sing their prettiest over the rich, throaty obligato of his engine.
Even sheet metal can have a soul.
And they give you back the romance of driving.
And that is why these will never land on an ordinary car.
And you find out what exceptional unity of man and machine has been achieved.
Need brakes? Now during the Midas $40 lifetime brakes rebate, save $20 per axle or $40 for your whole car. Lifetime guaranteed $40 in savings right now. Go safely. Go Midas.
Whoopi Goldberg is back in the habit and giving this group of holy terrors a lesson they'll never forget. Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. ABC Sunday at 7, 6 Central.
A lot of history in this old stadium. North Carolina and number 8 Georgia Tech. Joe Hamilton from his own 33. Philip Rogers out to the 38-yard line.
Now let's take a look right now at what's happening and why this Carolina team is standing toe-to-toe with them. Their defense is very aggressive. You're seeing good penetration, really taking away the lanes for Hamilton to throw and to run. They're starting to tackle. One of the concerns that the UNC coaches were worried about. Get the guys, they're good at hitting, but they're not wrapping up and dragging people down. So far, they're blowing up a lot of plays in that Georgia Tech offense.
Hamilton's throw is dropped right at midfield. Russell Matvey was the intended receiver. Quentin Savage was the defender. Look at these numbers in the first 2 drives.
Jeez. No points at all. They've been able to move the ball a little bit, but we haven't seen the wide open Joe Hamilton yet. It seems like they also are trying to establish some run. So that threat still stands there, and I don't know what the field conditions are actually like for the players, but they're really kind of containing him at this point.
Hamilton to the sideline. That's dropped. Ed Wilder. North Carolina holds again, and Georgia Tech is forced to punt.
Jeez, and this is one of the plays, and this is one of the throws that will indicate that Hamilton's got a good, strong arm to throw that out like that. But boy, you're not going to see a ball thrown any better, right to the hands, right in the middle of your chest, and just have that ball dropped.
Corey Bailey deep for North Carolina. Dan Dyke. Bailey dropped the ball. Carolina gets it back. A huge sigh of relief coming out of Chapel Hill on that one.
Man, Bailey saw gold coming, man. He saw some gold coming down the pike.
Your buddy Errol Hood on the recovery.
Good awareness. A lot of guys, they get ready to turn and to make some blocks, but they caught that ball. Hood saw that ball out and dove in and make the nice recovery. And didn't get fancy with it. You know, sometimes guys try and pick it up and make the big play. In a situation like this, and against a team like this that can make some things happen so quickly, just get possession of the ball. They did it.
Young Ronald Curry making just his 9th start as a collegian. Dominique Williams, who's into the ball game. Out to the 15-yard line. They'll bring up second down and about 6. Time now for the Aflac trivia question. This week's question. Georgia Tech is one of 5 schools in Division 1A that does not have the word university in its title. It's actually the Georgia Institute of Technology. Bob Golick, name the other 4 for 50 points.
Didn't know you were going to ask me. Notre Dame. They dropped the whole university thing, not just Notre Dame.
Wrong.
You're not buying that, are you?
No. Second down at 6. Curry. Hit and dropped. Greg Gathers. True freshman. LaPlace, Louisiana. And Curry is down.
You know, one of the things that Steve Marshall, North Carolina's offense coordinator, told us, he says we are not getting our wide receivers open, and thus that is why we're taking sacks. You know, he's got the mobility, but that was just a great play by Gathers at staying right in front of Curry and making the play. But until they get the receivers that can get separation and give Curry somewhere to throw the ball, he's going to get hit like this a lot. Take a look at it one more time. Gathers is there, number 55, sees the bootleg. Direct line right into Curry.
You could see him roll on that ankle as he made the sack. The other thing Marshall added was the inability to throw the football away. And that's something that a young quarterback has to learn. There's another young quarterback, Luke Heward, who's a good backup. He's a redshirt freshman, and looks like he's coming into this ball game when we get back.
Choose your minivan. From the most luxurious Chrysler Town & Country Limited to America's lowest priced Voyager, you'll find it all in a Chrysler or Plymouth minivan. Maybe that's why Voyager won a Consumer's Digest Best Buy 10 years in a row. And maybe that's why more people choose from our family of minivans than any other.
Hey, can you play Macarena?
Yeah, would you play Smoking Broken Heart? Hey, man, my girl left me. Could you send out a tune?
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. Chili, baby back real. I want my baby. Chili, baby back real. I got my baby back real.
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Real concern for North Carolina. Ronald Curry on the sideline as they look to his ankle. And young Luke Heward, who has a pair of brothers who are making a living as NFL quarterbacks right now, takes over. Third down long. Dominique Williams with a flag down at the 9-yard line. There's a flag down back at the 9. Holding North Carolina. Georgia Tech may decline this because they're going to get the football on 4th down.
Yeah, tough for a young guy to get in and take over a drive. There you see Curry. Let's take a look at the hit and see if we can see what happened.
On the offense, penalty is declined. 4th down.
It looks like he's got kind of bent over his ankle a little bit as Curry or as Gathers brought him down.
Georgia Tech does decline the penalty as Curry gets attention to the right ankle. Schmitz, the punt. It's dropped. North Carolina has it in midfield. Flag down.
I mean, talk about that's the way the ball bounces. That could have bounced any better for North Carolina.
Jason Peace made the recovery. And we'll wait for the call. Holding Georgia Tech. And Carl Torbush and his Tar Heels have lost not only their starting quarterback, their starting middle linebacker. They're on the road.
Above the waist, on the receiving team.
And on top, 7-0. How about that? There's a look at Mercedes Perry. Brandon Spoon right next to him is the guy that was injured a couple games in. They lost him for the season as well.
Right, and it was Perry that had become essentially the leader of that defense. Now, so far, Sean Woodard has stepped in. We saw him make a play right after coming in, but, boy, when you start moving that far down the depth chart, you can only hope that that youthful enthusiasm and excitement will pay off for you.
Speaking of youth, Luke Heward now has some good field position to work with. Deion Dyer, the big fullback, rumbles down to the 41-yard line.
Number 38, Deion Dyer on the
His oldest brother is Damon Huard. He's Dan Marino's backup in Miami. His next oldest brother is Brock Huard. He's Mike Holmgren's #3 quarterback in Seattle. But Luke Huard decided not to go to the University of Washington. He followed Mack Brown to North Carolina.
And we're definitely going to see a different type of attack from Luke Huard than we would from Ronald Curry.
Word from the sideline, Ronald Curry is out for the game with a right ankle injury. Flags down. That may have been a quick snap by Ryan Karfley.
You know, you get a new guy in there, a new quarterback in there, and you can start getting the cadences a little upset. It can cause problems for the defense as well as your offense. It looked initially like the defense had jumped and made contact.
Or you get
on the defense.
You get a senior center like Karfley that when the defense moves, snaps the ball and picks up 5 yards. Next Saturday, some of you will see the ACC's leading rusher, Thomas Jones, and the Virginia Cavaliers take on North Carolina State. Next Saturday live at 3:30 Eastern. Other regional action next weekend, Michigan State against Purdue, Colorado and Texas Tech, Cal and UCLA. Check your local listings for the game in your area or call your cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network for all the games on pay-per-view. Huard has yet to throw the ball. Dion Dyer is swallowed up at the 38-yard line. Merrick's Watson, the initial hit. Bierwin Eccles finished him off.
Good penetration. I mean, basically got to him just as he was taking the handoff. Didn't even have a chance to get his feet moving on that one. And you're really going to see a change in everything from the offense. You see signals coming in from the sideline. But Huard does not have the mobility that Curry had. We asked him about him being the backup, and he said he is definitely not at a Curry level yet.
Huard to the air, swings it out to Dyer to the 35-yard line. Gain of about 5. All right, time for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. Bob Golick made an initial. All right, you have any more guesses? Notre Dame was out. That didn't work.
Alabama.
Think service academies.
Army. Oh, these are all the teams we used to play at Notre Dame.
Air Force.
Army, Navy, Air Force, and the Marines.
And think Flutie.
Boston College.
There you go.
I threw the Marines there because my dad is a Marine.
All right, third down now. And 8. A 2 tight end set. Shotgun for Huard. He's got a man open. It's Corey Bailey, and Bailey fights for the first down. If North Carolina is going to rally behind Luke Huard, they need plays like that from Bailey.
And the one thing that the coaches have told us is that the receivers have been having a problem getting off of man-to-man coverage. And, you know, they seem like they're starting to get some separation from the defenders now. As you see Bailey wide open along the sidelines, basically just catch the ball, focus, and see how many yards you can get after you catch it.
Though Huard might not be at Curry's level in running the team, he may be a more polished passer in the pocket. He comes from a family of quarterbacks. Dyer breaks through. Dion Dyer inside the 15. He's down to the 10-yard line.
What a run. You know, I was going to say we're going to see much more traditional type of offense with Huard in there because he's not going to be running around and traipsing around and stay in the pocket, as you said, Rich. Watch this straight dive out of I formation, and he's just so big that these Georgia Tech defenders are going to have to learn right away that by laying your arm out there in front of them, it's going to do nothing except getting your arm ripped off.
Saunders left side. He's tripped up. Gunther Kreisen, the redshirt sophomore, made the stop. It'll bring up second down. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. By Nicorette Gum, you can do it. Nicorette can help. By Applebee's, you belong at Applebee's. And Budweiser, delivered fresh daily from our local brewery near you. The Yellow Jacket defense has not been that large today. Saunders, big hole, 5, good. Down to the 3. Close to the first down. Chris Young, the stop.
You know, when Saunders came in, he came in and started as a fullback. They converted him to tailbacks. They were trying to find the right combination. Now, certainly when you put Saunders next to Dyer, you see there's a difference in size. Dyer's much larger, but you know, although he doesn't have the speed to get outside, watch the moves inside. He has the moves and the little spin to make people miss and pick up the extra 2 or 3 yards.
3rd down short. Luke Huard in for the injured Ronald Curry, who was lost for the remainder of the game. Fumbled it, lost it, didn't get it back. Or did he? He did. The redshirt freshman fought it loose and got it back. And North Carolina will have an opportunity to at least get 3 points.
And again, we talked about the connection between the center and the new quarterback. He pulled out before he had the ball and just kind of squirted out free. They'll get their timing down as the day goes on, but certainly something, especially this part of the field, you didn't want to see happen.
Josh McGee now from 24 yards. And he hit it. The North Carolina Tar Heels are reigning all over Georgia Tech's homecoming right now. 10-0 Tar Heels.
Draft beer is an extension of the brewery brought to you, and what I mean by that is beer in its most perfect condition. It's actually beer from a finishing tank at the brewery that is put into a keg. It's then kept refrigerated all the way to your local bar or restaurant. The result is a taste and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer. Draft beer is beer at its best, and there's nothing better than an ice-cold Budweiser Draft.
There's this place in the neighborhood where they have these outrageous you pick 2 platters, and basically you pick 2 out of 3 entrees. It's 2 on 1 plate, be it the Cajun steak with all those sizzling spices, or a pile of succulent roasted garlic shrimp, or barbecue chicken with that sauce that sticks to your lips and your mind like some really interesting dream. It was too good to end, but it will, just like the you pick 2 platters. 2 entrees, 1 plate, only at Applebee's.
It raises expectations about what a minivan can be, with features like a powerful V6 engine, dual sliding doors, 8-way power driver's seat, dual zone temperature control, and an optional 10-speaker CD stereo system. Then, we added one more thing, values up to $2,000 that make the Chrysler Town & Country unexpectedly affordable.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Bowl Championship Series on ABC.
Let's go!
A full house at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta. The youngsters are on hand for homecoming. This city, obviously abuzz with the Braves in the playoffs, but the talk about college football, not just about those Georgia Bulldogs anymore. Georgia Tech at number 8 in the country, trailing North Carolina here, 10-0. Des White, 2 yards in. Flag down, back at the 15. White got it to the 18, and I think it's coming back towards the end zone.
Flag got dropped right in there, indicating that Mr. Hamilton will start a little bit closer to his own goal line.
Joseph Ryder, the ACC crew. And so Mr. Hamilton will be backed up. Speaking of Mr. Hamilton, next Saturday, the Nittany Lions of Penn State will take on Ohio State.
On the return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
On ABC, it's a Big Ten showdown. Penn State, Ohio State. Ohio State at number 19, Penn State at number 2. LeVar Arrington is a big part of that defense, but so is Courtney Brown. It's next Saturday at 12 Eastern. Courtney Brown was the best friend and teammate of Joe Hamilton when they were growing up in Alvin, South Carolina.
How many people are in that city?
Not that many. In fact, Pearson Prelo, who's a great player for Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech, is also from Alvin, South Carolina. Rogers on the carry. Julius Peppers made the stop for North Carolina.
We talked to John Carmen yesterday, the big right tackle for the Yellow Jackets. He talked about how they're going to control the line of scrimmage, how they're going to get low, stay low, all the basics about blocking and drive, control that line of scrimmage, drive the guys off the field. So far today, it's been that Tar Heel defense that's getting the penetration, getting the swarm to the ball. Everybody's getting after it and trying to make the play.
Hamilton from his end zone to the sidelines, a strike that is caught by Kelly Campbell. Jason Horton on the coverage. That's an impressive throw.
Really was. And what made it was the good react back. He took it upfield. He's got that deep threat. Campbell's got the deep threat with his speed, but you'll see him going up that sideline. He plants, and boy, he comes back. Hamilton knows exactly where he's going to be as he comes back for the ball. There's enough separation from Horton to make the play.
Sean Gregory getting outside. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 27-yard line. A gain of 8. Quentin Savage made the hit. Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta. Homecoming for number 8 Georgia Tech. They are riding high. However, the homecoming plans have been adjusted a bit because North Carolina has come in and put 10 points on the board and kept Joe Hamilton and the nation's #1 offense scoreless. Quick snap, flags down. And Hamilton is stopped as well.
You can see at the beginning of that play. Did you see? All the feet were digging in for that North Carolina defense. They're on hair triggers. And anytime you start to change the cadence a little bit, you see it there, you get them to jump.
Offside on the defense. 5 yards, first down.
Carl Torbush knew coming in that his defense had a tall order in stopping Georgia Tech. 517 yards a game, first in the country. Points,
numbers, man.
First in the country. 243 yards a game on the ground.
43.5 yards per game, or points per game.
Hamilton has yet to get loose, though this is a 9-yard pickup. Quentin Savage made the hit.
One of the things about Joey Hamilton is he is unselfish. He wants to share. He wants to do what he can do to help this team win. And that's handing it off, passing off, what have you. He'll do it. He's got to take more control of it right now.
Philip Rogers. Good pursuit by the Carolina defense. Cedric Hodge, the junior linebacker, made the stop. In case you've just joined us, North Carolina has lost another linebacker. Merceda Perry is out, joining teammate Brandon Spoon, who was injured earlier in the season, on the sideline.
And there you see Cedric Hodge, who did a beautiful job of keeping that ball from getting anywhere upfield, and Ronald Curry.
Yeah, Curry out as well. Sprained right ankle. Will not return, they say. That throw is deflected and incomplete. And North Carolina's defense maligned, as well they should have been. 9th in the ACC in total defense. They only have 9 teams in the ACC.
That's right. So that's not a good place to be. But, one of the things that Georgia Tech didn't want was pressure up into Joey Hamilton's face because he couldn't see over the guys. Now, if he only takes that short drop, he's kind of doing it to himself.
Sam Aiken is deep. And it lands at about the 20-yard line. Young Luke Huard gets it again. North Carolina on top 10-0.
At Nokia, we've discovered that adjusting the color of your phone can be this easy with Express On color covers for the Nokia 5100 series wireless phone. Nokia, connecting people.
If you're looking for a family adventure, National Car Rental knows the best place to go is the Walt Disney World Resort. You see, National gets you to all the exciting new rides magical adventure your family will never forget. So, what are you waiting for? Let's go with National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Walt Disney World Resort. Let's go.
Where will you be when the millennium turns? Your dreams change. So have we. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level. The world will change, but at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we will always measure success, one investor at a time.
North Carolina with the ball and the lead. Luke Heward, his own 20. A reverse. Corey Bailey. Bailey gets out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Luke Heward was leading the charge. I'm not sure that's a wise idea with Ronald Curry out for the rest of the game.
You're exactly right. And they've only got 2 scholarship quarterbacks on their team. Antoine Black, number 14, is the backup now. And you know, that would be a sad day if they've got to go down to number 3.
Heward, who was a high school All-American in Puyallup, Washington, played for his father, as did his older brothers. His older brothers went to Washington. He decided on North Carolina. Ronnie Robinson, a junior fullback, was out to the 26-yard line. Chris Young made the stop. What adjustments does North Carolina make offensively? Steve Marshall, their offensive coordinator, with Heward in the ballgame.
They've got to get traditional. I mean, they know that they don't have the mobility and the free form thinking that Curry had with being able to get out of the pocket. The advantage is that, if you want to call it an advantage, is the offensive line now knows where the quarterback's going to be. They can make a sound pocket for him to work out of.
Faced with 3rd and 4. Heward. The pocket expires, as does Heward at the 27-yard line.
Funny I should bring up pocket, huh? To collapse around him.
He did have time.
Yeah. But once again, it goes back to what we said earlier. Marshall felt that a lot of the sacks came from receivers not getting separation, not getting open, and the quarterback basically having nowhere to throw it.
Des White dropped the football. It's loose. North Carolina's got it. How about that? Greg Harris made a huge play.
Not just a huge play in recovering, but his first move was to hit Des White, clear him out of the way so he could actually make a play on the ball himself. Then he gets scooped up to fumble himself.
Marvius Hester actually the one that fumbled it. And a huge play by Harris.
Yeah, let's watch it here. You're going to see Marvius go right through his arms as the ball kicks loose. Here comes Harris. His first move, get Marvius out of the way, then go for the ball. Beautiful awareness. I'll tell you what, you don't rarely see, you rarely see that kind of awareness in a young kid.
And the Tar Heels are right back in business at the Georgia Tech 16. 3 Georgia Tech turnovers. Saunders trying to get outside. He does. Great move. Close to the first down. Out of bounds at the 8. Jeremy Myers made the hit. Flags come down after the hit.
You know, one of the things I'm seeing that's really cutting down to Georgia Tech's pursuit, if you're watching this play, the North Carolina offensive linemen are doing a lot of cutting. They're getting down, they're getting into the feet of the defenders and taking out that whole pursuit thing away from them.
We have a dead ball, personal foul on the defense, half a distance to the goal, first down.
Let's take a look at here. Watch what I'm saying. To the left side of your screen as Saunders goes that way. Watch these blocks. They're all cuts into the linebackers. Everybody's down on the ground. That defense has nobody left to pursue, and then a great move on his own by Saunders. Beautiful job for that converted fullback. Didn't look like a fullback there, did he?
And you saw the late hit. 1st and goal inside the 5. Dion Dyer. Dion Dyer won't go down. He finally does at the 2.
Somebody's a big man. He's not supposed to bounce it outside. Good try, though. The inside was a little bit covered up, and he tried to bounce it outside with all intents and purposes. Not what you're going to see a large running back like that do, but he picked up a couple extra yards.
One thing North Carolina has are two very good tight ends, Algie Crumpler and Dante Finger. They have lined up in a two tight end set here. They're both outstanding blockers. And I think Finger just jumped off sides.
Is he listening to you?
No. I doubt it.
Hey, they're talking about me.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, still second down.
Tomorrow, world silver medalist and U.S. champion Michelle Kwan faces Russian world champion Maria Bucheskaya in the Kerry Lotion Figure Skating Classic, USA versus Russia. It's tomorrow at 4 Eastern, 3 Pacific on ABC Sports. Second and goal from the 2 just became second and goal from the 7. Saunders. Anthony Saunders inside the 5. The question here, Bob, will they let the redshirt freshman Heward throw it now on 3rd down and goal?
You know, so far he really hasn't shown too much of what he can do in the air, but you know, it's a situation that he has trained for. I mean, he's thrown the ball in practice. They know what he could do, and you know, it's not like he's the only other quarterback out there. He obviously earned his 2nd spot on the depth chart.
Jim Hopper, the quarterback coach, signals in. Luke Heward on 3rd and goal. No one behind him. To the corner. Off the fingertips of Sam Aiken and incomplete. And North Carolina will settle for a shot at 3 points.
And that answers the question. They let him throw, but you can tell his inexperience in game situations gave him a little bit of an adrenaline rush, I think, for that situation. That touch pass, that little fade into the corner, just a little bit long.
Josh McGee from 21. He's hit a 24-yarder today. This one is good. On another Georgia Tech turnover, North Carolina adds 3 more.
Sportsmanship is about respect. Respect for your opponent and also for the game. In all sports,
you win because you work hard and compete fairly.
Give your best at all times. But when the game is over, show some respect for your competitor with a handshake or a pat on the back.
Remember, showing poor sportsmanship hurts you and your team.
The ACC stresses sportsmanship. Without it, the game's over.
Tonight at 8, 7 Central. Kurt Russell.
Enough nerve agent here to wipe out half the eastern seaboard.
Steven Seagal.
There's a hatch on the belly of the 747. We could dock there.
And Halle Berry in the blockbuster event.
We're not gonna make it!
Executive Decision. Tonight at 8, 7 Central on the ABC Big Picture Show. A great movie every Saturday night. Parental discretion advised. This is the one you waited for.
Are you telling me that the guy who stabbed me might still be out there?
The one that will answer all your questions. An all-new Practice, ABC Sunday, 10, 9 Central.
That smile you see on Buzz's face, that big yellow jacket, is turning quickly into a grimace.
It sure is. Looks like a snarl or a grimace or something sad.
The Yellow Jackets are down 13-0 right now to North Carolina. This is Des White, and he holds on to this one. Hester lost the last punt return. White bounces it outside to the 38-yard line. 38 yards on the return for White. Good field position for Georgia Tech.
Boy, they're explosive. They can be. And that's one of the things that they've been relying on the whole season so far. Des White, all it takes sometimes is a play like that to kind of light a fire in everybody else.
Though North Carolina's on top, you have to know in the back of Carl Torbush's mind, twice they got inside the 10, and they came away with 2 field goals. Hamilton's throw in traffic. It's incomplete. That's the first time we've seen Joe really force a ball today.
Yeah, he's really been off of his game. They started the game trying to establish run, as we saw early on, and then work the pass into it. Now it seems like they're almost in a position where they have to pass the ball, and Joe seems a little uncomfortable.
Second and 10. Hamilton to the sidelines. That's a gorgeous throw. Des White makes the catch. Jason Horton made the stop just short of the first down, 9 yards on the pickup.
And again, that shows the relationship between Hamilton and Des White. That ball was thrown when Des White was still holding on.
Ralph Friedgen, the offensive coordinator. Third and short. Hamilton's throw in traffic is caught by White. Flags go down. White goes down. It will be a first down for Georgia Tech, regardless. And Des White may be hurt.
Well, nice little slant pattern. Very quick slant from the wide position. Watch him. He's just going to come down inside. Again, good timing.
Pass interference is the initial call.
Pass interference on the defense. It's a spot foul. First down.
You know, when the receiver gets his body position on the defender like he did on, like Des White did on Horton, then not much you can do to make a play on the ball. It takes a lot of finesse to be able to get your body in a position to get a hand on the ball. But for the most cases, you're going to see a guy almost come over the back most of the time and draw the penalty.
Just a minute left in his first half. Carl Torbush right now is not happy with the officials. Both of those flags came right out in front of the Carolina bench. And the discussion is over.
I don't think it was the discussion. I think he had some things to get off his chest.
Pass interference on the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
His defense has played very well against Joe Hamilton and the Yellow Jackets. And now George O'Leary's not happy.
Well,
coming up on the Valvoline Halftime 99, John Saunders, Terry Bowden, all the highlights, all the scores from the wild games, the many things that have happened already in college football today. Curious to hear what Coach Bowden has to say about this ball game as well. Hamilton going deep. Got a man! Touchdown, Georgia Tech. Kelly Campbell.
Oh, man. We may have not seen an explosive Joe Hamilton all day, but that was a beautiful pass. Right on target to Kelly Campbell. One of the things Carl Torbush talked about was the fact that mismatch between Georgia Tech's receivers and his cornerback was something he was not happy about.
And Georgia Tech gets on the board with just 49 seconds left in this half.
Straight drop back. He knows where he's going all the way. A little fake pump. He didn't have to look. Campbell just gave a kind of little turn and go. Jason Horton bit on it. Campbell just used his speed flat out to the end zone, and boy, that ball caught him right in stride.
Hometown kid from Atlanta, Kelly Campbell, and Joe Hamilton has his 11th touchdown pass.
Look at Joe. He knows this game isn't going the way they'd hoped early on. And you can hope it. One of the things, let me state an obvious fact here. As a offense that's behind, a team that's behind, a score like this right before halftime gives you a little bit something, a little bit something to talk about in the locker room. A little bit of impetus, a little bit of excitement, and basically put you within 6 points at this point.
And And as I've touched upon, the opportunities for North Carolina to get it in the end zone, twice they were unable to do so inside the 10.
Yeah, they had one good drive early on, but all the other scoring drives came on short field situations off turnovers.
Corey Bailey, flag down, back up field. Bailey is down at the 18-yard line.
It's going to be holding on North Carolina.
One thing Joe Hamilton does very well is throw the deep ball.
Take a look at it one more time. And look, a little fake pump there, and no effort to it. Did you see that? You know, some people when they talk about a running quarterback, he doesn't want to get categorized that way because with the running quarterback tag comes the maybe not a strong arm. He makes up for it with the running ability. Well, that's not the case with Joe Hamilton. He can stand. If they made him sit down or stand back there and not move from the pocket, he can throw just as well. I don't know about sitting down, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Interesting sequence here. 43 seconds left. Georgia Tech has all 3 timeouts left. North Carolina keeps it on the ground. Saunders fights his way out to the 18-yard line, and that may change North Carolina's mind about burning those timeouts. Tony Robinson made the stop.
Yeah, I think that being this deep in their own territory, North Carolina doesn't want to get the ball up in the air, especially with a backup quarterback, and get a chance of there being a turnover and giving Georgia Tech a chance to go into the locker room with a lead.
Luke Heward playing in place of Ronald Curry left the ball game with a sprained ankle in the first quarter. And the redshirt freshman right now takes over with North Carolina on top. Interesting one going in Atlanta. Number 8 Georgia Tech down 13-7 after this.
In the last 13 years, Nicorette helped over 1 million people help themselves stop smoking. And that was the reason that convinced me to use Nicorette.
All these people knew it was safe and effective. Nicorette delivers a low level of nicotine fast to help control cravings without the tars and toxins found in cigarettes. And Nicorette was proven safe and effective in more clinical trials than any other product.
Just the idea that Nicorette had helped all those people made me feel that Nicorette was the right choice for me in the end. Which it was.
Nicorette helps you fight your cravings, your habit, your way. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make having your way better.
I love a new chicken club sandwich.
What's up with this?
It's the new Chicken Club. We're trying to give you the genuine club experience.
But the tasty new Chicken Club is excitement enough. A new way to satisfy your craving for our tender, juicy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and hickory smoked bacon for a real taste sensation anytime you want.
Can I buy you something to drink?
When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Good financial decisions require expertise. Life needs flexibility. Success demands leadership. If there's something you want to achieve, the principal has one word of advice. Plan ahead, get ahead. The Principal Financial Group.
At Aaron's, it always costs less, a whole lot less. Take this GE 20 cubic foot side-by-side refrigerator with ice and water on the door. At Rent-A-Center, a comparable Whirlpool model is $119.96 a month for 24 months. But don't be fooled. Do the math. That's over $2,800. At Aaron's, it's $99.99 a month for 12 months. So you save over $1,500 and you own it a full year sooner. You don't need credit. You own it much sooner. And you get the guaranteed lowest price. So why pay more? Do the math. Call Aaron's.
Clark Howard's Consumers Fight Back, Monday at 5 on Channel 2 Action News.
Valvoline Halftime 99, brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. From our New York studios, John Saunders and Terry Bowden.
And to surprise us, North Carolina has the lead. And Terry, with the Peter Warrick situation, today is a day for the other Heisman hopefuls to really shine, to step forward, perhaps become the leader. Joey Hamilton has a chance in this game.
It's a perfect example for Joey Hamilton. He's got to do a good job here and make something happen, because Peter Warrick did not have any more chance for the Heisman Trophy. But North Carolina has come on strong and showed that they've done better this first half.
Yeah, Ronald Curry playing pretty well. Ohio State against Purdue. You think Drew Brees was licking his chops for this game? The Buckeyes have given up 988 yards in the last couple of games. Vinny Sutherland takes the handoff, almost slips, and throws it back to Drew Brees. Just stays in bounds. No one near him gets the touchdown. That one tied the game at 7 apiece. Purdue trying to bounce back from the loss to Michigan.
He's doing his job. He's throwing touchdown passes. He's catching touchdown passes. I said earlier to you, he's got to have a great October.
10-7 is the lead there. Wisconsin and Minnesota. Ron Dayne, earlier today, this was your pick for the Heisman Trophy. You said he's going to get the record. Well, he gets 3 more yards towards the record here, ties the game against Minnesota 7-7. Don't forget, Minnesota had yet to lose this year going into this game. Brooks Bollinger to Nick Davis, 81 yards, the touchdown covers, as Wisconsin comes back and ties the game again, this time at 14 apiece. And 4th and goal in overtime, Vitaly Pasetsky, 31 yards. That's right, Vitaly Pasetsky gives Wisconsin the win, and they walk off with the Paul Bunyan axe. My question to you, Mr. Bowden, is that axe buried in the back of Ron Dayne's Heisman hopeful chances?
No way. Ron Dayne did one thing. He helped Wisconsin win the football game. If you remember last year, Ricky Williams, who won the Heisman Trophy, had 43 yards against Kansas State on 25 carries, came back and won the Heisman.
But you saw a look, and that was a nice list there. Those are the last 4 guys to win the Heisman. He's below them. You still think he's going to get the record?
I still think come Iowa, last game of the season, he's got a great chance. Because remember, his record is a cumulative record. It's not going to come in one game. It's going to come in 4 seasons. It's going to come on the last game this year.
We will find out. And nobody talking about Doug Johnson for the Heisman Trophy, but Florida has just that one loss to Alabama in the swamp. They have a 24-3 lead right now. Bo Carroll with a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, as Florida's offense looks good and their special teams as well.
You know, Florida's defense is last in the SEC. This is what they did do, is dominate somebody. It's not what LSU wants to see, though.
Kansas and Kansas State in the Big 12. Jonathan Beasley, 88 yards. Look at him wave guys around and throws a strike to Quincy Morgan. Kansas State grabbed a 7-0 lead. Jonathan Beasley has 2 touchdown passes and 3 touchdown runs. As Kansas State, Michael Bishop may have graduated, but they're not missing him in this one.
Their offense has been great every day, but their defense is what's taken them to the top of the championship. Mark Semino leading a great defense for Kansas.
Baylor against Texas A&M. A&M's won 6 straight against Baylor, and I think that's 7 straight. 45-13 is the final there. Oklahoma and Texas. Auburn and Mississippi State. This one, Auburn had this game wrapped up, Terry. Mississippi State in the last 5 minutes of the game blew them away.
I'll tell you, Auburn's defense was the team of the day. They were killing Mississippi State, winning 16-3 with about 6 minutes left, but Mississippi State came back 6-0 the first time since the 1940s.
That is a very, very tough loss. Oklahoma and Texas, we talked about 17-6. These teams like to throw it in the air. This game usually would end in about an hour and a half. Right now, there's still about 7 minutes to go in the first half, 17-6. Southern Miss against East Carolina. We feel East Carolina has a chance to go the rest of the season without losing.
They've got to win this football game. They've had great quarterback play, but Southern Miss is playing great defense. Right now, Southern Miss could eliminate that chance for an undefeated season.
Jeff Kelly with 2 touchdown passes there. USC against Arizona. Keith Smith runs out of the pack
and takes this 57 yards for the touchdown. Arizona jumps on top. Antoine Simmons had a 44-yard fumble return for a touchdown for USC, and right now it's a 10-7 lead as they go towards halftime. Tulane and Ole Miss. And Mississippi up 20-10, about 7 minutes left in the game. Ramsey has a touchdown pass, and Notre Dame and Arizona State. Jarius Jackson has 3 touchdown passes. The Fighting Irish are revived once again. 41-0 is their lead in the third quarter. Stick around. Back with more in a moment. Joe Hamilton, New Georgia Tech trail 13-7.
Some people have strengths. Some people have their garage.
Who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I linked up 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, and 7,000 troops. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
Your web page will even make you feel differently according to how it is positioned. For example, here, the yin is strong, coolness, peace. Whereas over here, the yang is there, powerful, hot. And now, up here, the computer's just happy.
Who designs your website is up to you. Hooking it up and delivering the goods, leave that up to us.
You'll ship everything. FedEx.
FedEx, be absolutely sure.
Carolina is a tower of tradition with mighty oaks flanking stately walls, a fountain of knowledge with a thirst for research and teaching inside its hallowed halls, a priceless journey, a link to the latest technology, and a path to lifelong friends. A well where generations pass through, a kindred spirit, always true blue. The University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, leading the way as the nation's first public university.
This is Valvoline Halftime 99. John Saunders and Terry Bowden. Out to your second half in a moment. Of course, the big story throughout this day and throughout this week, #1 Florida State having to play today without Peter Warrick. Everyone knows what happened. He has apologized for it, but I truly believe he's cost himself the Heisman Trophy.
Without a doubt, John, I think this made a big impact on any chance he would have for the Heisman Trophy.
Now, we mentioned before the game against one of their top rivals, Miami, he spoke with our Lynn Swan and was very apologetic.
I basically told them, you know, keep their head up, go out there and do what they have to do. Don't put all their focus on me, put all their focus in this game. And, you know, it's not all about a Peter Warrick show. You know, it's a team thing, and, you know, just go out there and do what they can.
How would they pull together this afternoon? Well, Kenny Kelly of Miami had a terrific day. 80 yards here to Santana Moss, makes a couple of guys miss, and Miami ties the game at 14 apiece. Chris Wenke also with a good day. He hooks up with Ryan Sprague, the big tight end in the end zone, 14 yards. And Florida State is coming back to tie the game. And then in the fourth quarter, Travis Minor, a 2-yard touchdown run. Florida State puts it away for Peter Warrick, winning this one by 10, but it was tied at halftime. Santana Moss in a losing cause, 9 receptions, 180 yards. You see what Chris Wenke was able to do today. In Florida State, the wide receivers, Terry, they were able to pick up the slack for the missing Peter Warrick.
I tell you, these receivers weren't crying that Peter Warrick wasn't back. They were excited because now they get a chance to catch the ball, and they see themselves making big plays. This team is one team that could replace Peter Warrick.
And it means a lot to coaches. They want to respond and see how their team responds to adversity.
You never find out what kind of team you've got until you're behind and have to fight back. So we had a couple of problems, and we won with them, so that's a good sign.
It is a good sign, although, you know, your dad didn't want this to happen, but when he sees a team pull together like this, it means a lot.
Really, when this happened, he wanted to get this game over with, win this game. Now, he would really like to see if he can help Peter Warrick get out of that situation or something good to happen for him.
They will find out on Monday whether or not it will remain a felony or be dropped down to a misdemeanor. Meanwhile, Michigan and Michigan State, first time they've met undefeated since 1961. And Michigan was favored in this game going up East Lansing. But Bill Burke, 19 yards to Gary Scott. Michigan State had a 20-10 lead. And then Bill Burke again, 15 yards to Plaxico Burress, who had an unbelievable day. Tom Brady in at quarterback. Subbing for Drew Henson, who came off the bench. 8 yards to Aaron Shea, and it was 34-31. But then Bill Burke and Plaxico Burress once again.
I'll tell you, it got down to the passing game. The thing that did it so much for Michigan State was that they held Michigan to 42 yards rushing. They're the best rush defense in America, and it forced Michigan to pass too often.
Bill Burke with 400 yards. That's a new Michigan State record, as is Plaxico Burress with a 255 yards receiving in this game. Michigan State has done it to the Wolverines 3 of these times. Of course, you look at this one where they were both ranked this year, but 3 other times unranked. They knock off the Wolverines, and Nick Saban, his first win over Michigan.
We knew we were going to have to make plays against them down the field. Flex made them time and time again. So just a great job by our team all the way around.
Michigan State's defense against the rush was terrific. That was a key.
Well, right now, that's right. They stuck Michigan, took the only game that they could do to mix it up, the running game, and forced them to pass on first down, second down, and third down, and really took the game and gave it to Michigan State.
Yeah, very impressive. 6-0 now, Michigan State. Penn State against Iowa. Penn State ranked number 2, but not getting a lot of respect, and they struggled early in this game. You see, there's just 14-7. But Eric McCoo takes off and goes 47 yards for the touchdown. He had 13 carries for 130 yards and a touchdown. Penn State wins it going away 31-7.
But I'm going to tell you something. They need to improve their defense, and their defense did a great job here. They're going to have to be better on defense to improve to play for the championship.
All right, stick around. Back with more in just a moment.
Car living a tough life. Better use a tough oil. Valvoline DuraBlend, the one strengthened with synthetics to outperform all leading conventional motor oils. Valvoline DuraBlend, tough oil for a long, tough life.
Okay, with AT&T's new one-rate 7-cent plan, now your calls all day, every day are just 7 cents a minute.
Yeah? What about those nickel plans?
Okay, it's not always a nickel.
It's not.
During the day, that nickel can cost you a quarter.
Making it no longer a nickel.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, but with AT&T, it's simple.
It's always 7 cents a minute.
24 hours a day?
Yes.
Every day?
Yes.
7 days, 7 cents?
Yes.
Do you want to explain it to him again?
I don't.
All day, every day. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Valvoline Halftime 99, brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline.
There's a lot of history to ACC football, but you haven't seen anything yet.
Number 1, baby, number 1!
Yeah, but you drive like number 2!
We mean number 2 Penn State?
LeVar Arrington is so ready for Ohio State, it's not even funny. Let's not forget about Michigan State Purdue.
Oh yeah, it's a doubleheader!
Here we go, Michigan State!
Doubleheader!
Welcome back. Your second half still to come. A reminder for those of you on the West Coast at 4 Pacific time, we're going to take you to a game between BYU and Cal. And a reminder, next week right here on ABC, we start things at noon Eastern time with a doubleheader. Ohio State against Penn State in a great Big Ten matchup. Then at 3:30 Eastern time, 12:30 Pacific, regional coverage. Purdue against Michigan State, Colorado against Texas Tech, Virginia and NC State, or Cal against UCLA. Check local listings for the game in your area. National League Division Series in baseball. John Rocker gets Ken Caminiti to fly out to center field. It ends the game, and the Atlanta Braves have done it again, going to another National League Championship Series. They win it 3-1 over Houston. Arizona and the Mets. Matt Manti gives up the home run to Todd Pratt. Pratt was playing for the injured Mike Piazza, and the Mets get the win in the 10th inning. They win the series 3-1. They'll face the Braves in the National League Championship Series. The second half still to come after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Today's Waterboy symbol is a jersey. Check your local retailer for more details on how you can be an honorary Waterboy at this year's BCS National Championship game right here on ABC Sports.
And that's what I call high-quality H2O.
Now, the Waterboy is yours to own for the first time.
You can do it!
Plus, you can enter to win a trip to the Nokia Sugar Bowl in New Orleans to see the BCS National Championship game as an honorary Waterboy.
Oh!
I think that's sexy.
Grab your copy of The Waterboy. Take it home on video and DVD and enter today.
Sunday, 2 great David Kelly shows back-to-back. First, These Private Eyes are a Sunday night treat. Snoops. Then,
The guy who stabbed me might still be out there.
This Is It.
There's some psycho targeting us.
The episode that will answer all your questions. The Practice, right after Snoops, ABC Sunday, 9, 8 Central.
This is the Georgia Lottery Cash 3 Midday Drawing.
Good afternoon. I'm Angela Thigpen with Sterling Singleton of Singleton & Jordan. We're live with your Cash 3 Midday Drawing for Saturday, October 9th. Your first Cash 3 number is 6, followed by 9, and finally we have 2. If you have 6, 9, 2 in any winning combination, congratulations. And join me tonight at 6:59 for the Cash 3 Evening Drawing and Monday for Cash 3 Midday.
There, Marvius dropping the ball, and again, balls just popping loose all over the place. Marvius Hester with this fumble on the punt with Harris recovering. And here's Ronald Curry keeping the ball, making things happen by himself.
30 yards for that touchdown. Then Joe Hamilton late found his buddy Kelly Campbell for a touchdown.
Yeah, right before halftime, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes left. That ball was laid up perfectly, and they got 7 points right before half.
Time now for our Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half statistics. Points off turnovers, obviously the big ones. Total yardage, North Carolina's moved the football pretty well.
The one thing that's really sticking out in my mind is that 139 yards rushing by the Tar Heels when the coaches themselves admitted that their tailback situation, the running back situation, quote, was tenuous at best.
George O'Leary did not show a whole lot of concern in the first half, but I'm sure his halftime speech was an emotional one. Carl Torbush, his team is ahead 13-7, and if you've just joined us, he's lost Ronald Curry for the rest of the ballgame with a sprained ankle. He's lost his starting middle linebacker, Mercedes Perry, with a shoulder injury for the rest of the ballgame. But the Tar Heels are still on top. This is Corey Bailey, and he goes down at the 18-yard line. Luke Hewards, who comes from a quarterback family, the redshirt freshman, will take over. Let's revisit our Dell Game Solutions, Bob.
North Carolina's offense, they wanted to get better production from the wide receivers. So far, it's been the run game that has kept them alive. They've cut down on turnovers. They have none today, but they're forcing them on the other side. And Georgia Tech's defense contained Curry. Well, he is out with the injury, so that's a moot point at this point. And they want to force some three and outs. They're not doing so good on that. Georgia Tech is moving the ball. Marvius dropping the ball, and again, balls just popping loose all over the place. Marvius Hester with this fumble on the punt with Harris recovering. And here's Ronald Curry keeping the ball, making things happen by himself.
30 yards for that touchdown. Then Joe Hamilton late found his buddy Kelly Campbell for a touchdown.
Yeah, right before halftime, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes left. That ball was laid up perfectly, and they got 7 points right before half.
Time now for our Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half statistics. Points off turnovers, obviously the big ones. Total yardage, North Carolina's moved the football pretty well.
The one thing that's really sticking out in my mind is that 139 yards rushing by the Tar Heels when the coaches themselves admitted that their tailback situation, the running back situation, quote, was tenuous at best.
George O'Leary did not show a whole lot of concern in the first half, but I'm sure his halftime speech was an emotional one. Carl Torbush, his team is ahead 13-7, and if you've just joined us, he's lost Ronald Curry for the rest of the ballgame with a sprained ankle. He's lost his starting middle linebacker, Mercedes Perry, with a shoulder injury for the rest of the ballgame. But the Tar Heels are still on top. This is Corey Bailey, and he goes down at the 18-yard line. Luke Hewards, who comes from a quarterback family, the redshirt freshman, will take over. Let's revisit our Dell Game Solutions, Bob.
North Carolina's offense, they wanted to get better production from the wide receivers. So far, it's been the run game that has kept them alive. They've cut down on turnovers. They have none today, but they're forcing them on the other side. And Georgia Tech's defense contained Curry. Well, he is out with the injury, so that's a moot point at this point. And they want to force some three and outs. They're not doing so good on that. Georgia Tech is moving the ball a little bit.
Luke Hewards, Saunders out to the 22-yard line. Saunders had 59 yards on 9 carries in the first half. Heward, a redshirt freshman, arrived on campus last year when Oscar Davenport was the starter. Davenport was injured. Curry became the starter, and Heward was the quarterback of the future. Well, all of a sudden, the future is today here in Atlanta. Ronald Curry, with an ankle injury, is out for the rest of the ball game. No further word on the seriousness of that injury. Heward has had a year in the system to learn. He's in trouble here. He'll tuck it. He's a big kid, 6'4", 215, and down he goes at the 27-yard line.
Well, I bet the coaches will have a talk with him. As much as he wanted to get some extra yardage, when you're down to your number 2 quarterback, don't put yourself in a position to take the big shot. And he just, instead of going down, sliding, diving head first, anything to take the good hit, he puts his shoulder down and tries to bowl the defender over. And they plant him.
His oldest brother, Damon, was the leading passer in the University of Washington history. His other brother, Brock, broke that record. But this youngster, Luke, decided to go to North Carolina. And he's faced with a 3rd down and short. Saunders lost the ball, got it back, and that may have prevented him from picking up the first down.
Definitely did. That ball popped out. Good awareness to pull it back in, but all his upfield momentum was gone, and at that point, the Yellow Jacket defenders were able to keep him from crossing that first down marker. Yeah, it looks like they're going to measure it anyway, but this is a little bit different than how the game started in the beginning. Let's take a look at it one more time. You'll see Saunders get the ball from the tailback position. As he goes to tuck it away, pops up, grabs it real quick, but at that point, he's not looking downfield. He's not looking for the hole. He's not looking for the cut. He's looking for the ball.
Chris Young made the stop. Saunders had a hole. Carl Torbush is going to have to punt the football.
And I don't care if that was a half an inch, a quarter of an inch. You're going to get rid of that ball, get it out of that side of the field, and make Georgia Tech, who has been relatively ineffective, I say relatively, compared to what they've done in the past, make them work the long field.
Brian Schmitz will punt to Marvius Hester, who has fumbled twice. But George O'Leary showing some confidence in putting Hester back there again. And it pays off. Hester is out across the 40. Georgia Tech has excellent field position. Their first drive of the second half is coming up.
There's this place in the neighborhood where they have these outrageous you pick 2 platters, and basically you pick 2 out of 3 entrees. It's 2 on 1 plate, be it the Cajun steak with all those sizzling spices, or a pile of succulent roasted garlic shrimp, or barbecue chicken with that sauce that sticks to your lips and your mind like some really interesting dream. It was too good to end, but it will, just like the You Pick 2 platters. 2 entrees, 1 plate, only at Applebee's.
I have contacts. Bearing, range, 287, 600 miles. No, 500 miles now. Sir, I have 15 contacts at 497 miles and closing.
This is not a drill.
Get me a count. Lots. 27. 41. What is it, sir? Sir?
Oh, mommy.
In 98. Now David Duval goes for the three-peat at the Michelob Championship. Sunday at 2 on ABC.
Mercedes Perry, who left early in the ball game with a shoulder injury, has put the pads back on, and we're told he may try to come back in. Middle linebacker for North Carolina, Joe Hamilton, and the Yellow Jackets. Hamilton, lots of time, going deep. Campbell. Georgia Tech.
Why not do what goes do what's working for you? It happened and it worked at the end of the first half. That was so beautiful. That was so pretty.
Kelly Campbell caught the touchdown pass, and you're right. Near the end of the first half, first play upstairs. The extra point is good, and all of a sudden, Georgia Tech is on top, 14-13.
You know, one of the things, too, that North Carolina wanted to do is get pressure in his face. Because he's only 5'10", they think it would block his view. They get some pressure into his face. But look at how perfectly this ball is thrown to Campbell. I mean, there is absolutely nothing they could have done different on that play to make it any better a play. Caught him absolutely on stride. Look at Joey Hamilton. He knows they're starting to open it up. 14-13, Georgia Tech over North Carolina. He knows the score is starting to go the way it's supposed to in their minds.
He hit Campbell on a 47-yarder, and that was a 59-yarder. 121 yards on the last two plays combined for George O'Leary's Yellow Jackets. My goodness.
The problem now for the Tar Heels is with Curry out, they don't have the unpredictability of offense that they have when Curry's in there. Luke Heward is a guy who's going to sit, although we saw him try to run the ball. He's not one of those guys that's going to get you a whole lot of extra yards, and you know, and he's going to be a pocket guy. So there isn't that explosive big play potential that you had with Curry.
Bailey watches this one skip through the end zone. Later today, college football on ESPN. Quincy Carter and Georgia take on T. Martin in Tennessee. Number 9 Georgia, number 6 Tennessee tonight on ESPN at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
Man, that's going to be a good game.
Ron Franklin and Mike Gottfrieds.
They hate each other.
The Volunteers and the Bulldogs hate each other.
Yeah.
Mike and Ron get along.
No, they get along quite well. Yeah.
All right, here's Luke Heward now. Over the middle. Algie Crumpler, the tight end, makes the catch at the 25-yard line. Matt Yaremovich made the stop.
Now, we've seen, and every time we've seen the Tar Heels, North Carolina, start a drive, it's always been very controlled. You know, it's taken them longer. One of the reasons being is because we said before, they want to keep Joey Hamilton off the field. But as we've seen, you only got to put on for a couple of plays in order to break your back. Now, so they will take their time. They will drive the ball. They will eat up clock. They will get first downs and, you know, try and move it the length of the field.
course, that one blows up. Peace is going to throw it. He does to Crumpler. And Crumpler, who was not the primary receiver on that play, I can assure you, has a first down to the 44-yard line. Jason Peace was a great high school quarterback at Northern Durham High School.
You know, you had to know something was up. This was so slow in developing, and all the Yellow Jackets had stayed at home on the backside. Good job by Peace avoiding the defender, and good job by Algie Crumpler in finding himself a little open space. But you're right, he wasn't the #1 primary receiver. He was. They couldn't find him downfield.
18 yards, a big play for North Carolina. Saunders breaks loose. He's had a big day. Anthony Saunders, the sophomore running back, a 10-yard pickup. Chris Young made the stop. That man, in 2 plays, has rolled up 121 yards in receiving. 5 catches now for those 2 touchdowns.
He's getting up near Des White numbers.
Des White leads the country in yards per catch, 30 yards per catch. But North Carolina's on the move, just outside the Georgia Tech 45. Movement. No flag. Saunders. Gain of 3. The disposition of the game has changed dramatically since Luke Heward entered the ball game. It was his not to mess up when he came in. They had the lead. Now, all of a sudden, they're depending on him not to mess it up. Your Applebee's Game Facts, brought to you by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. There it is, the oldest stadium in Division I, Bobby Dodd Stadium. 1913 they opened the doors. A year before, or actually 2 years before, they did at Scott Field in Mississippi State. Down to the 36.
Well, they're chewing up the yardage. They got themselves in essentially a 3rd and 2 situation. Giving that ball up inside to Dyer. Oh, it wasn't to Dyer this time, excuse me. Oh, it was Dyer. But good movement up in front. You know, they know if they can get a couple of yards from him, at least 3, just from body lane.
3rd down. Heward, quick throw. That did not draw a flag, and it probably should have. It's incomplete, or rather intercepted. Ricardo Winbush. The North Carolina coaches can't believe it. They wanted interference.
I can't believe it. I mean, there's been some close calls made, but that was blatant. Let's take a look at the replay here. The defender. This is just a quick out to the wide receiver. Quick, get it to him, let him make the play. But Jamara Clark was right there into his back before the ball even reached his hands. No flag.
Now Georgia Tech right back at it. Sean Gregory out to midfield.
Well, you talk about momentum, and sometimes it's an intangible. You can actually feel it here. Just even though we're seeing some good play by North Carolina, methodical play, you know, working it downfield, the explosiveness of the Yellow Jackets is really showing up now.
Hamilton pitches off the option. And Gregory to the 41-yard line. And all of a sudden we can see some flashes of the #1 offense in the country.
Yeah, they're not. Hood came up to make the play, but was not up anywhere near the line of scrimmage, about 3 or 4 yards downfield. The run support on the outside is getting a little tentative. Remember, early in the game, the one thing that was working well for the Tar Heels was the swarming nature of the defense. They were all going after the ball.
Second and short, Gregory again, and he's got the first down to the 39-yard line. Sherrod Peace made the stop.
You know, the scary thing about this for North Carolina is they came into this game with with a sense of bravado. They were excited about this. They were not letting themselves be intimidated. They had worked themselves into a mental state where they knew that they could handle themselves. Well, they've been gashed and gashed deep on those 2 long passes, and now maybe they're starting to think about reality.
Maybe they ought to think about a reverse. Watkins. Inside the 15, down to the 14. Kerry Watkins, a redshirt freshman. 25 yards on the carry.
We got a flag down, and unfortunately, it looks like it may be against Georgia Tech. And the sad thing is that it was away from the ball. It was a block or a hold that shouldn't even have taken place because it wasn't anywhere near where the ball was at that point. Well, now the Georgia Tech players are signaling that it's against North Carolina. Boy, when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? Now, unlike North Carolina's reverses, this one takes place a little bit quicker. The timing on the handoff a little bit better, and no run support up on that side. In fact, again, like I said before, nobody is being aggressively upfield. Nobody's coming aggressively upfield. They're all sitting and waiting for the runner to reach them.
George O'Leary and his offense are now over 300 yards, and they're on the doorstep, the 6-yard line. Hamilton on 1st and goal. To the 5 goes Gregory. Quincy Monk made the stop.
Well, they're doing it with a little flash and a little substance. A lot of the just inside runs to keep everybody honest on the inside, to keep the linebackers from straying too far, from kind of keeping them from being able to get into good coverage quickly. They've got to really respect that inside run game.
Hamilton to the corner for White. No, he couldn't hold it. Flag goes down. A flag on the play.
And look at Errol Hood's reaction. He doesn't look surprised. Looked like he got his hand in on the ball to knock it free.
Let's watch.
Little fade into the corner to Dez. Yeah, it wasn't a play on the. It wasn't a play on the ball. It was he hooked the arm, trying to keep him from making the catch.
Did he hook the arm after the ball hit? I think he hooked it. Did he get it before that ball was in?
It was very close. And the guy making the call was behind where he couldn't actually see where the ball was being hit or not, or the timing of it.
Georgia Tech now with a 1st and goal. Hamilton has plenty of time to change the play, and he's going to burn a timeout. Joe takes a timeout, so will we. 14-13, Georgia Tech.
We build walls with our everyday routines and our cram-it-all-in schedules. Walls that make a nasty habit of separating us from our dreams. But what if there were no walls? What if there was a way to go anywhere and do anything? There is a way. But for this kind of journey, you're going to need an outfitter. Someone to equip you with the kind of gear that can get you to your dreams. Ford is your outfitter, offering you the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth. Climb in and watch the walls come tumbling down. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
11 blue-clad warriors stand on the brink of battle and ask themselves, where is the other team?
Groovin' on a Sunday afternoon.
Nothing helps you kick back at the end of the day like Tostitos chips and salsa.
I can't imagine anything.
We do suggest you actually wait till the end of the day.
He's a fine dancer, too.
Dig in, kick back with new Hint of Lime Tostitos.
Bob, on that last call in the end zone, we saw the contact which appeared to come after the ball had arrived, but watch the right hand of Errol Hood. He's got it hooked on White. That may have been where the flag came from.
Right. It was
that contact is free.
We thought that that was at the end making the play on the ball, but that wasn't the thing. I think that they called that hand up in the face, up in the shoulder pad. You're not allowed to be in contact with the wide receiver.
Either way, I think it's a break for Georgia Tech. Will they take that break into the end zone? Not this time. On 1st and goal, the North Carolina defense stops him. Philip Rogers, the ball carrier. He met Cedric Hodge at the 2.
Billy D. Greenwood down to the bottom of the pile also. Now, if they're going to stop those guys, they've got to swarm like that. That harkens back to the way they played in the first half, where that defense couldn't be stopped.
Again, Rogers. This time is he in? Touchdown, Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets have scored the last 3 times they've had the football.
Good execution up front on that. You see him? That offensive line just got down low, got under the defenders, and the linebackers just could not get up to make the play.
Extra point good. Number 8, Georgia Tech, was down in this ball game, but they have rallied and lead North Carolina 21-13.
Now watch the line up front. Watch them kind of root hog out there. Now it's the job of the linebackers to get over that mess and to make the play behind the line of scrimmage. Now there's just too much stuff under their feet for them to get into it, to get up into the line. Too much drive on Rogers' part to get that touchdown.
ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Ford Outfitters, no boundaries. Dell Computer, pioneering direct internet ideas for your business. Be direct. Dell. Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. And by National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. Buzz.
Now he looks angry.
Yes.
Now he looks fired up.
He was rather deflated in the first half.
Interesting how that one look can be interpreted in so many different ways.
Georgia Tech to kick it off now.
That's sad we're analyzing an inflatable thing.
Luke Monje will do the honors. This homecoming crowd has a decidedly different demeanor in the second half. With good reason. Bailey to a knee. Without Ronald Curry, North Carolina is going to have to find some way to move the football. Jim Hoffer, quarterback coach, with redshirt freshman Luke Huard.
Now, remember, most of the yards we saw at halftime, the great running yardage. It was about 130-some yards in rushing that the Tar Heels had. Now, a lot of that came when Curry was in there. So the defense had to be wary of Curry. Now that Huard's in, they know that there's not much of a run threat with him, and they can focus on that run game, making it much, much tougher.
Huard will put it up. Dion Dyer with a circus catch and a first down at the 32-yard line. 12-yard pickup.
Isn't it amazing when somebody bobbles like that and they make the catch? It's called a circus catch. If they bobble it and they drop it, then they're not paying attention.
It's not a circus drop, is it?
No, it's never a circus drop. Just a bad play. That was a good play.
Tar Heels could use a few more of those good plays. Dominique Williams bounces it outside, and he's up to the 37-yard line. Marvius Hester made the stop.
Now, Williams gave them a little bit different dimension with his quickness getting to the outside. If you saw up inside, the linebackers, everybody hitting hard into the middle of the line, knowing that Dyer has been doing so much damage to him. And boy, it just gives the little scat back a chance to get outside a little bit.
Heward took over early second quarter. He's put yardage up, but 2 field goals. It was Curry who had the 30-yard touchdown run. Williams to the 40, 2 yards short of the first down.
And remember, too, the good drives that we saw really put together by North Carolina came after the turnovers. Anytime they had to do a full field drive, usually came short in some way, some sense. It was the turnovers that really put them in a good position to make good plays and to strike and score early.
Carl Torbush looking for his first win in the ACC this year. 3rd and short. Heward's going to put it up. Great catch, a tumbling catch by Algie Crumpler. His older brother, Carl Lester, has made a nice living as a tight end in the NFL. His father, Carl Lester Sr., was a great tight end. They played at East Carolina.
You know, we talk about Heward being more of a drop back guy, but all you have to be able to do is move enough to get away from the defenders, to be able to get the ball thrown and throw it to your receiver, and that's exactly what it was. Now, of course, when you don't move that quick, you take some pretty good shots, too, but he still completed the pass.
Out to the 47. To the 48-yard line. Early second quarter. Ronald Curry, who had a 30-yard touchdown run, scrambling, and this is what happened.
Greg gathers in, pulled him down over his own ankle. North Carolina team very disheartened. They felt they had something very good going in this game. I told you before, he will not be back. Luke Heward is going to carry it the rest of the way.
He left with a 7-0 lead. Heward came on and helped them to 2 field goals. But right now, North Carolina finds himself behind. Heward throwing on the run, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Corey Bailey. Chris Edwards on the coverage.
You know, one of the things about young quarterbacks and what they have to learn along the way is if you're moving, how to throw the ball. You know, they always talk about throwing off the wrong leg. Watch Heward here. He doesn't get himself set. Even though he's moving and you can throw the ball on the move, he's not throwing off the right leg. He's not planted. He doesn't have good control of the ball and thus overthrows the receiver.
3rd and 8. 1 of 3 on 3rd and long situations are the Tar Heels. He's moving again. And again he misfires. Flags down. He was hit late. Heward went down on a late hit. And I think North Carolina is going to get a first down. Big, big penalty for Georgia Tech.
Well, when the other team helps you pick up some yardage, it helps quite a bit. Again, as we saw before, the same sort of dash, short dash out to his left. Letting loose. Ball well gone before he takes a shot.
Personal foul on 15 yards worth.
Nick Rogers,
the sophomore defensive end.
Yep.
The 37-yard line.
Heward from the 37. Dion Dyer, the big fullback, to the 34.
Number 38, Dion Dyer on the carry.
I was picking up a few at a time. The one thing I'm noticing, did you see this earlier, Rich? When Dyer was hitting the hole, he was hitting it hard. Last couple times, he's kind of pussyfooting a little bit at the line. He's kind of tiptoeing before he starts to run. At his size and his weight, and with the acceleration he can get, he should just be putting that shoulder down, finding the nearest thing that looks like a hole, and sticking his body through it.
6 feet tall, 245 is Dyer.
Ouch.
On second down. Heward. Dyer drops that one. Third down.
Hit him in a bad spot, as they say. Right in the hands.
Carl Torbush called him maybe his best offensive player for a variety of reasons. Outstanding blocker, a very good runner, and normally a reliable receiver.
But I think they're really using him a lot more today than they have ever in a single game.
Blitz coming. Huard in trouble. Down he goes. Merrick's Watson and Felipe Claybrooks made the stop. It's decision time for Carl Torbush. This would be a 52-yard field goal attempt.
And it looks like they're bringing him out.
Josh McGee, his career longest is 49 yards.
You know, don't think that even if they get the points here, don't think this doesn't affect that offense.
North Carolina will punt it. Brian Schmitz is on. Play clock running down. That one has too much on it. North Carolina gives it back to Georgia Tech, who leads it 21-13.
Where will you be when the millennium turns? Your dreams change. So have we. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level. The world will change, but at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we will always measure success, one investor at a time.
I like to think of myself as an innovator who started a company, Dell Computer, around an idea that everybody should be doing business directly with one another, one-to-one, with no barriers. To me, that's the power of the internet. We'd like to show you how to empower your business in ways you've never imagined. I'm Michael Dell, and it's our reason for being.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Out here, the stories unfold like a map. Stories written across the sky with the tip of an eagle's wing. Stories to fill a scrapbook you'd want to page through again and again. But first, you've got to go to where the stories live. You'll need an outfitter for the journey. Ford is your outfitter. With the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth, created to take you where the stories begin and never end. Ford Outfitters. No boundaries.
Tuesday, Dharma joins a band and jams with one of rock's biggest legends in a history-making TV appearance.
Cool!
All new Dharma and Greg. See you Tuesday, 9/8 Central on ABC.
21-13. Number 8, Georgia Tech, was down early in this one. Ronald Curry call home. Curry went out with an ankle injury early in the second quarter. Hopefully telling the folks back home he's all right. Joe Hamilton and the Yellow Jackets take over. Quick throw, and it's incomplete. Not much has gone wrong for Georgia Tech in the third quarter, Bob Golick.
No, it hasn't. It started off right. First possession, first play for Georgia Tech. Joey Hamilton to Kelly Campbell. Then comes the interception that, we had questions about it. And then the touchdown run after a nice drive, taking it down, eating up some clock.
Philip Rogers finished it off. And it's Rogers who gets it here to the 25. Rogers still on his feet. Finally comes to ground at the 32-yard line after a 12-yard pickup and a first down for Georgia Tech.
You know, they're stretching that defense now by doing a lot of the option stuff, the pitches, getting it outside. That it seems like the Tar Heel defense may be tiring a little bit. Now they get out there. They don't, as I said before, it doesn't look like they're all chasing the way they were early. And so they're working to stretch them and make them run, wear them out a little more.
128 yards on 2 drives. Hamilton. Look at him go. Joe Hamilton lost the football. It's picked up. North Carolina's got it. Errol Hood has the football, and he returns it to the 36-yard line. Cedric Hodge forced the fumble. Errol Hood robbed from the rich and gave it to the Tar Heels.
Well, we're watching that and we're saying, now this is the Joey Hamilton everybody expected to see, but we keep seeing the drop ball. Joey's dropped a couple. Watch here. Beautiful job of just keeping that ball, making people miss, pulling through, but Cedric Hodge comes in. Right there, 52, gets the head and the arm at the perfect spot to pop it out with Errol Hood. Giving North Carolina a chance again from the short field. See what they can do with it this time. Remember, every time they've had the short field in the past, when Hewer's been in there, they've only been able to get a field goal.
I think the Tar Heels would take a field goal here just to stop this momentum. Saunders trying to get outside. He does.
Number 20, Anthony.
Almost looked like a face mask along the sideline.
It really did. I thought that he got a grab on that, but that was, we're talking about stringing it out. That Georgia Tech D was getting some good push upfield. Saunders just kind of bided his time a little bit, waiting to find it, and didn't find the opening. Figured, hey, there's a sideline. I better turn it upfield now.
Number 30.
2nd and 4. Saunders, big hole, spin move. Wow. Still on his feet. He's to the 10-yard line.
Unbelievable.
Anthony Saunders, the sophomore, out of Greensboro, North Carolina. And the Tar Heels are in business.
Jeremy Myers finally gets the tackle, but watch the move. And I don't even know why they told us that he used to be a fullback. Look at the moves inside, making people miss, the spins, the jukes, change the direction, change the speed. Jeremy Myers are coming from the backside to save the touchdown.
Bob, here's the area where North Carolina has struggled.
Yes.
Inside the 10. Williams to the 5. 2nd and goal from the 5.
You know, even though Hewitt is a good quarterback, he's still the backup. He doesn't have the number of reps as the starter, certainly that Curry had. Now, the Tech defense at this point can afford to play the run. There's a little field there. There's not a whole lot of room for passes. They can move people up and jam that run game and make them throw the ball.
Williams still in the ball game behind Dyer. It's Dyer and the big fullback.
Number 38.
To maybe the 4. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 4.
Now this is the same formula they've been doing every time they've gotten down here. Run a couple of times and then try to throw the fade. I remember the last time they threw the fade into the end zone, and he basically overthrew it.
Jim Hoffa signaling in the plays to his redshirt freshman quarterback, Luke Heward. Quarterback draw. Heward is in. Touchdown, North Carolina. And that has got to feel good for the youngster from the Pacific Northwest.
That is not, and talk about not something you wouldn't expect. You know, they kept talking about Heward not being the runner. He's the drop back guy. He's the pocket guy. For him to pull that quarterback draw a la Curry, I think it kind of caught some of those linebackers a little bit off guard.
All right, same situation, Bob. It's a 2-point opportunity now for North Carolina. It's as good as a 4th and goal from the 3. They stack the backfield. Heward, man open, got it, Crumpler. We've got a tie ball game.
And I'll tell you what, you got to give it to that young freshman, that quarterback. He stood his ground. He saw the defender coming up in his face and had the poise to find Algie Crumpler and get that ball to him.
North Carolina has scored 21 points off Georgia Tech turnovers today.
What do you think the Dell solution for Georgia Tech will be next week? Don't drop the ball. Let's take a look at the touchdown first. Quarterback draw. Luke Heward taking kind of a half step back. Didn't really fool that many people except, well, basically every linebacker in the middle. Now here it is. Everybody play action goes right. Defender right in his face. Alge Crumpler wide open. But did you see that? He was standing there, had that defender coming up in his face, gonna make the hit. Heward knew it and still got that ball to him.
Alge Crumpler with the two-point conversion. Georgia Tech certainly had the momentum in this sucker. I mean, they, in the third quarter, dominated this football game.
We just got some real bad news on Ronald Curry. Ruptured right Achilles.
Out for the season.
Out for the season.
Which does not make Bill Guthridge feel well as well, the basketball coach in North Carolina.
That's unbelievable. So had a rash of those around football this year in all levels.
Testaverde, obviously. Des White. Des White across the 25-yard line.
Number 22, Des White on the return.
Next Saturday, some of you will see the ACC's leading rusher, Thomas Jones, and the Virginia Cavaliers as they take on North Carolina State at 3:30 Eastern. Other regional action, Michigan State, who won today over Michigan, and Purdue's playing well against Ohio State. Colorado, Texas Tech, Cal, UCLA, regional coverage, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
But that Purdue-Michigan State one's going to be sweet.
Out to the 32-yard line. 21-21. Number 8 Georgia Tech and North Carolina all tied up in Atlanta. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
I do kitchens, I do bathrooms, I do family rooms. I do not do insurance. I want to be treated like I feel I treat my clients. I want to be treated like I am their only client. Michelle Duthman treats me the same way I want to be treated. I have my cars, all of my household. I need somebody that I can get advice from. I know that when I need them the most, they're going to be there.
Get to know your State Farm agent.
It's a great relationship.
Announcing America's newest tire store, your Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer. They have just the brand name tires for you. Tires designed and built for your Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln. All at competitive prices. Now the best place to get tires is from factory-trained technicians, the people who know your car best. Quality care service, the right people, the right parts, and always the right prices at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
#1, baby, #1!
Yeah, but you drive like #2.
We mean #2 Penn State?
LeVar Arrington is so ready for Ohio State, it's not even funny. Let's not forget about Michigan State Purdue.
Oh yeah, it's a doubleheader.
Here we go, Michigan State. Doubleheader.
This week from 2020, you dial 911 in need of an ambulance. Sam Donaldson investigates if you'll get the help you need. Bruce Willis, superstar and father, speaks about life on and off screen with Diane Sawyer. And Thursday, discover a new kind of 2020, Downtown. 2020 this week.
I'll be right with you.
When it suddenly occurs to you that you need to make a call, Bell South Mobility works when and where you need it.
Has he eaten? He's eating.
And now you get 100 minutes for just $12.50 a month. Bell South Mobility. Life's calling. Why wait?
Clark Howard's Consumers Fight Back, Monday at 5 on Channel 2 Action News.
Quarter, number 8 Georgia Tech 21, North Carolina 21. Joe Hamilton and the Yellow Jackets on 2nd down and 4. Hamilton is stopped at the 30-yard line, and the ball's loose. Hamilton got it back.
Tim Burgess blitzed, knocked that ball loose.
There's Ronald Curry. The word coming from the North Carolina sideline, ruptured Achilles, which obviously has him out for the football season, and sadly, in all likelihood, out for the North Carolina basketball season.
Well, he's a sophomore, and he's got some time, but those are very, very difficult injuries to come back from.
Hamilton Throwing on the run, and Des White can't hold it. It's incomplete. And North Carolina's defense, for the first time in this half, has held on downs.
Well, they did it early. I would imagine the coaches got together and said, listen, I mean, you had the enthusiasm, and you got to believe that now that they're tied up again, there's got to be a feeling of hope. You know, not that there's the juggernaut Georgia Tech offense is just going to run and pass all over us. They got to feel, hey, we can move on them, and now we can stop them.
Sam Aiken, a freshman, is deep for North Carolina. Georgia Tech will down that football at the 27-yard line. We've got ourselves a ball game in Atlanta, 21-21.
Listen here, baby. I only want to burn a desire. Let me stand next to your fire.
The newly restyled 2000 Sunfire. A hotter set of wheels, money left to burn. By Pontiac.
I vow to make you invincible. To make your engine sing. To use the strong, tough synthetic oil. The one that has a super breed of molecules to protect you from cold, heat, dirt, time. The one that'll help keep you from growing old. I will never let you die.
Valvoline Synpower, advanced synthetic technology.
The oxygen mask will be released, and in case of a sudden craving for the new Chicken Club from Burger King, an emergency pouch in the seat back in front of you contains one sandwich.
Hey, that's my sandwich.
Give me that sandwich, lady! Just give me the sandwich!
Everybody's craving the new Chicken Club. After all, it's a masterpiece of all-white meat chicken, crispy bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Burger King. Have it your way.
På forhånd for å få nok til både fiskesuppe og til...
Jaguars, Jets, Monday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
The Georgia Tech campus right in downtown Atlanta. Georgia Tech, North Carolina, 21-21. Luke Huard, the redshirt freshman quarterback, hands it off to Dominique Williams. Out to the 34-yard line. Bobby Dodd Stadium, where the number 8 team in the country, Georgia Tech, came out and fell behind North Carolina, and then behind Joe Hamilton, rallied. North Carolina lost their talented quarterback, Ronald Curry, a ruptured Achilles tendon. He's out for the season. But redshirt freshman Luke Huard has rallied the troops and tied this ball game at 21 apiece.
Well, they were in a 2nd and 4 situation, and looks like a delay of game is going to put them back.
Well, they stopped the play with the flag, and I think they've picked the flag up.
I think maybe the clock wasn't working on that one.
Yeah, the play clock apparently misfired. So the redshirt freshman gets a reprieve. And it's still 2nd and 4. Williams is loose. And Dominique Williams is inside the Georgia Tech 45-yard line. 22 yards on the carry.
Nice job on the cutback. Hey, he didn't hesitate at all. You watch him. He'll take the ball starting off to the left. He sees everybody flowing. Boom, he's cutting back. He sees the overplay, and he finds that backside wide open and goes for it.
Williams again. To the 41-yard line, we head to the studios and John Saunders. John?
Time now for the Burger King play of the day. Purdue against Ohio State. Drew Brees, great passer, right? Watch the quarterback come out of the backfield. Wait for the pass from Vinny Sutherland. Just stay in bound. Peeked himself out there. Takes it in for a touchdown. 17-13. That's your Burger King play of the day.
Thanks, John. Today in Atlanta, North Carolina trying to pull an upset. Luke Huard at quarterback. The pitch to Williams. Dominique is outside. He's to the 30 and out of bounds. At the 26-yard line, Jeremy Myers made the stop. Dominique Williams, the sophomore, out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
And at the end of that play, he kept heading to the sidelines. Number 32, Ronnie Robinson, got out there and essentially took out the last, right there, took out the last run support on the outside, giving Dominique Williams a little bit more room to pick up that extra yardage. Good block out there.
You've touched upon it twice today. The North Carolina coaches told us in our meetings they did not have much of a running game. Either they've solved the problem in a day or they weren't truthful. Luke Huard is going to run it. And he's inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. He picks up 8 on that first down scramble. 260 yards rushing for North Carolina in the ball game.
You know, I don't want to call them liars.
No, don't.
I won't. But they certainly, maybe they underestimated themselves. Let's put it that way. How's that sound?
Well, Carl Torbush told us, look, we are better than our record, but we have yet to prove that, and we need desperately to do so. I think they're doing so right now. Saunders has had quite a day. He's over 100 yards, and he's to the 10-yard line. Anthony Saunders, the sophomore out of Greensboro.
Let's take a look at what he's done today so far. Besides that last play, this guy has been all over the place. Finding the open holes, the spins, the jukes. Taking inside runs and finding little cracks, spinning, making people miss. Great job.
He was averaging just 31 yards per game coming in. As he limps off, he's at 113. It's the first time a Tar Heel has been over 100 this year. Dion Dyer. Dyer fights his way to the 11. Second down and 10. Chris Young made the first hit.
There's Saunders on the sideline. They're taking a look at him. Now, this could just be cramping, you know, because obviously when he's over 100 yards, they haven't been running that much. So they take a look at him on the sidelines, and you know they've basically all around their backfield they've had success. Anthony Saunders, Dyer, Williams, they've all been pretty good coming out of the blocks.
Second and 10. Dominique Williams, big hole to the 6, and an interesting play call now on third down and about 5. Near the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a Chevy Player of the Game from each team. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's General Scholarship Fund. Beginning this year, Chevrolet will also donate 2 $1,000 high school scholarships. Luke Huard on third down and 6. In trouble. Down he goes. Matt Yurimovich.
He's the guy right up the middle. Right up the middle. Watch run. You see him. He's coming right through the middle. Nobody picked him up. Looked like Dominique Williams had pickup on any blitzers, and he was to the outside. Mr. Yurimovich.
Josh McGee from 36 yards. Josh McGee from 36 yards gives North Carolina the lead. 3 for 3 today is McGee. Guess what? North Carolina on top by 3.
Stewart, can I see you in my office, please?
That kid is sick. That hinge is squeaky. Very sick.
Stewart, get in here.
Sure thing, Mr. P.
Stewart, I just opened my Ameritrade account.
Let's light this candle. Let's go to Ameritrade.com. It's easier than falling in love. What do you feel like buying today, Mr. P?
Kmart.
So research it. All this stuff is provided for you free of charge.
No cost.
Yeah, that's synonymous with free.
Looks like a good stock.
Let's buy.
Let's buy 100 shares.
All right, click it in there.
Okay.
How about 500?
100, Stewart.
You feel the excitement? You're about to buy a stock
Okay.
online. Oh!
fabulous. I'm thrilled. What'd that cost me?
$8, my man.
$8?
$8. Riding the wave of the future, my man. I gotta get a soda.
All right.
I'm sorry, Mr. P. I'm having a party on Saturday night if you really want to go.
I'm going to try and get there. Thank you, Stuart.
trading.
Thank you.
Rock on.
All right, Stuart.
Ameritrade. Believe in yourself.
It's a tough world. Now there's one exciting car actually designed to take it. The Pontiac Grand Am. With its solid form design, it's the most solid Grand Am ever built. Grand Am. Excitement well built by Pontiac.
Georgia Tech is number 8 in the country, on a roll. North Carolina came limping in at 1-3. And looky here, with 9:19 left in the ball game, North Carolina has a 3-point lead over Georgia Tech without Ronald Curry, who has left the ball game and in all likelihood is out for not only the football season but also the basketball season with a ruptured Achilles. That's the report we've received from the Sports Information Department at North Carolina. Des White goes to a knee. Joe Hamilton is a guy that certainly, with the happenings down at Florida State and Peter Warwick, has all of a sudden come front and center in the Heisman Trophy race. They have promoted him for the Heisman. The funny thing about this is Georgia Tech has never had a Heisman Trophy winner.
Oh, really?
Oh, they've had a Heisman. In fact, they've had the Heisman. John Heisman was a coach here a long time ago, and they named the award after him. He was such a good coach. Hamilton now trying to go to work. Quick throw and a catch. Russell Matvey, or rather Conrad Andrzejewski, the tight end. And Andrzejewski is out of bounds at the 31. First down on an 11-yard pickup.
Now, to follow up on that, Heisman was actually the coach of the team that has scored the highest, more points than anybody in college history.
He beat a school named Cumberland 222-0. In retaliation, I guess, for Cumberland winning a baseball game 22-0 the year previous. Of course, if you talk baseball around here, Atlantans are pretty darn happy. The Braves today, in case you have missed it, have defeated the Houston Astros and won that series 3-1.
Hey, there's a bee on your face. Oh, wait, never mind.
The Yellow Jackets on homecoming.
Well, they're moving. The Yellow Jackets are moving. Joey Hamilton taking that last one himself, trying to spark this team. They got plenty of time to get it downfield, especially when these guys work. 10 seconds is about enough these guys need.
Hamilton over the middle. Oh, tremendous play. Errol Hood again.
What a play. I mean, talk about great placement by Errol Hood. He was trailing right there, center of your screen, trailing and steps right in front, gets a hand on the ball right before the catch.
Flag down in the backfield. Hamilton may have been hit late. He was.
Oh.
Roughing the passer on the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Now, we saw what happened downfield. Let's see what happened in the backfield. Joey Hamilton dropping back. Yeah, right there.
Boy, I don't know.
Monk. Now, Quincy Bates looked like it took about a step and a half, 2 steps after the ball was thrown.
I guess a Heisman contender gets that call. He still has it. He's looking for Des White deep. Down he goes. The jump pass apparently not in his arsenal.
Up and down.
That's a travel.
Boy, is he, he's really elusive. Certainly the end of the play didn't get them anything, but talk about being elusive or survival, one of the two. Errol Hood once again coming up and making that play. Watch him here. Watch him just making people miss on this play action end around. Makes Burgess miss. Makes Stewart miss. Makes everybody miss except Errol Hood.
Had Burgess not been there, Des White was wide open. This is Philip Rogers, and he's escorted out of bounds. Antoine Black who right now is the backup quarterback for North Carolina, made the stop. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the Pontiac Sunfire, hot set of wheels, money left to burn. Ameritrade, believe in yourself. The Water Boy, Touchstone home video scores with outrageous bonus footage. And Chili's, a proud sponsor of ABC college football.
I love that movie. I can only imagine what the bonus footage is going to look like.
I'm surprised you did not have a starring role in it.
I'm retired, man.
Third down now and 7. Georgia Tech struck like lightning on the final play, their final play of the second half, their first play of the third quarter. Kelly Campbell, 47 yards from Joe Hamilton, and then a 59-yarder. That opened the second half. He's only attempted 4 passes in the half. And that's Campbell in motion. His big play guy. Going deep for Des White. It's picked off. Flag is down. Anthony Anderson made the interception, but I think North Carolina's going to get an interference. On a huge interference call early in this second half in the end zone, gave Georgia Tech a 1st and goal. They scored a touchdown off it.
Anderson came over on Malay. He was wide open. That ball was essentially underthrown. And Anderson came in and made the grab.
Which begs the question, was it a catchable ball?
Exactly. Exactly. Now,
but obviously we've got to look at it again. Well, and I think that may be what the officials are talking about right now. They say it was catchable. Carl Torbush doesn't like it.
Let's take a look at that again if we can. The ball downfield. You're going to see Anderson coming over from the middle of the field. And no.
I think, yeah, it was a catchable ball, Bob, in looking at it. Yeah. If he's able to stop, I think he's able to catch it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's going to catch it. I still think Anderson's going to go up and make the grab. But he definitely would have had an opportunity to make the catch. Either way, it moves Georgia Tech closer to the goal line.
29-yard line of North Carolina. Penalties have been big in this one. Carl Torbush hoping his defense can hold.
No, they can't get rattled now. Just because they're on the 30-yard line, that Tar Heel defense has to stay focused and do what they've been doing and not jump.
Movement. North Carolina says it was Georgia Tech.
Well, they're selling it.
It's important.
And that's the one thing that the coaches tell you. No matter you did it or not, you point to the other guy. You make sure they just think about it.
False start on the offense. 5 yards. Still first down.
Sold.
They'll back it up to the 34. Hamilton trying to bring his club from behind. There was a flag still on the field, and the officials had to stop play. Hamilton in his career has led a bunch of fourth-quarter comebacks. And I guess that's the stuff that Heisman trophies are made of. He'll pitch it. Down to the 27 is Philip Rogers. Next Saturday, Leapin LeVar Arrington and the Nittany Lions face the Buckeyes. Number 19 Ohio State visits number 2 Penn State. Big Ten showdown in Happy Valley. It's next Saturday at noon Eastern on ABC Sports. Second down. Hamilton, the pitch. And Georgia Tech gains about 4 yards. Jason Horton made the stop on Philip Rogers.
Boy, North Carolina couldn't have played that option any better. I mean, they were hitting the guy just as the ball was being let loose. Just a fraction of a second from being a good gain and being a substantial loss.
As good a pocket passer as Hamilton is, and he is, he runs the option very well.
Yeah, sure does.
That is a combination I've rarely seen.
And he runs a number of different types of options, which is also very interesting.
3rd down 3. Hamilton, a lot of time, going end zone, broken up, incomplete. Errol Hood, who immediately looks back for a flag. There is none.
Yeah, really. It's starting to get a little kind of looking over your shoulder now, wondering if anybody's doing what these guys are calling. Here's the play. Watch the timing on this. Just like earlier, times it perfectly, trails the man, steps in, and knocks the ball away with that front hand. Or excuse me, with the backhand. See, what they tell you to do is try and keep it. Oh, here's the field goal.
Monjay, no, he missed it. He's missed twice today.
And look at that North Carolina team. They are fired up right now.
They should be. North Carolina sitting on what could be a large upset in Atlanta.
Afraid your next get-together will be a flop? Order Chili's Party Platters. Act now. Call a Chili's representative, and your guests will flip over party-sized servings of buffalo wings, fajitas, baby back ribs, and more. End pre-party stress now. Order Chili's Party Platters new from Chili's.
And that's what I call high-quality A2O.
Now, the Water Boy is yours to own for the first time.
You can do it!
Plus, you can enter to win a trip to the Nokia Sugar Bowl in New Orleans to see the BCS National Championship game as an honorary Water Boy.
Oh! I think that's sexy.
Grab your copy of The Water Boy. Take it home on video and DVD and enter today.
Ponder this. What makes Chili's awesome blossom so awesome? It is chopped, battered, and the rest is top secret because only Chili's has mastered the art of the onion.
Listen here, baby. I only want a burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire.
The newly restyled 2000 Sunfire. A hotter set of wheels, money left to burn. Buy Pontiac.
Tuesday, Stewart finds paradise.
Your gay Jim rejected my application.
Under personal goals, you put 2 chicks in a hot tub.
All new Spin City. See you Tuesday on ABC.
Bobby Dodd Stadium, a sellout. Homecoming. But it's a concerned place right now. North Carolina with the ball and a 3-point lead. Luke Heward, the redshirt freshman quarterback, gives to Anthony Saunders, and he's dropped at the 19-yard line. Twice, Luke Monjay has had opportunities, and this was a big miss.
Yeah, he just pushed it off to the right. So far, you know, they've relied so much on the other skill positions of their team to score. They really kind of dismissed that kicking game.
The kicking game has been big. 2 fumbled punt returns have led to 2 North Carolina field goals today.
Georgia Tech is certainly playing the run. They are getting good penetration as they did in the last play.
Dominique Williams. He's out to the 25. It brings up 3rd down and 7. Now Bob Golick on 3rd down and 7. Do you have your redshirt freshman put it in the air? Do you keep it on the ground and put the pressure back on your defense?
I think you've got to throw a high percentage. You know, drag the tight end across. Something that where you're going to get an opportunity to throw the ball down low where it's not going to get tipped up. It's not going to get stepped in front of. You know, make sure you're throwing it only as far as you need it for the first down.
They need 7 for that first down. Heward throws it away. That's an incompletion, but it's a good throw by a redshirt freshman.
Fine choice, a very fine choice in throwing that away, and that's some of the things that they talk about with the young quarterbacks. They talked about it with Curry and kind of the difference between him and Joey Hamilton, that sometimes he tried to force the throws, but Heward made the right choice on that one.
Marvius Hester, who has fumbled 2 punt returns, is back. Another deep punt by Schmitz. Hester is back at his 15. And a flag goes down. That's a three-point takedown. There's another flag back at the 35-yard line.
Man, what a tackle. I mean, you dream about tackles like that.
Defonte Coleman. 60-yard punt.
Once again, they're getting halfway decent returns on it because he's kicking it farther than the coverage team can get down. Well, there were two separate flags in two different areas of the field.
One flag back at the 38-yard line of North Carolina. The other where the return ended at the 30. Holding North Carolina. Face mask North Carolina. Either way you look at it, the news is not good for Carl Torbush.
Well, they'll take the face mask because it was after Georgia Tech's possession.
Well, they may make him kick it again.
Holding on the kicking team. 10 yards, previous spot, repeat 4th down.
And that's exactly what they did.
Do it again.
By taking the hold, which happens during the kick, they get to run the play again.
Let's take a look at the face mask penalty. Oh, yeah. No doubt about that one.
Yeah, that added.
Somewhat blatant. Greg Harris coming in and, boy, kind of getting the snag in that face. Makes a good handle. It ain't legal, though.
That looked like a 15-yard variety.
Yeah, it did, because he wasn't letting go.
Which would have given them the football at their own 45-yard line. But by making Schmitz kick it again, Hester now is standing at his 38. So George O'Leary is gambling on the exchange rate here. This is a low line drive. Hester. He's loose. Flag goes down. Back at the 50-yard line. Hester to the 44-yard line.
It looks like it's on Sean Gregory. Pretty much landed at his feet, and he got kind of a disgusted look about him when he saw the flag.
That's a rather large flag. Point of foul. It's back at the 50. It'll bring it back into Georgia Tech area.
The waist on the return. Spot foul. 10 yards. First down.
First down, Georgia Tech. They're down. We'll be back to Atlanta after this.
Man, is this a...
Listen here, baby. I only want a burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire.
The newly restyled 2000 Sunfire. A hotter set of wheels, money left to burn. Buy Pontiac.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better.
I love a new chicken club sandwich.
What's up with this?
It's the new Chicken Club. We're trying to give you the genuine club experience.
But the tasty new Chicken Club is excitement enough. A new way to satisfy your craving for our tender, juicy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and hickory smoked bacon for a real taste sensation anytime you want.
Can I buy you something to drink?
When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Oh, brother, now I've seen it all.
What's that?
They gave the ferret a teleprompter.
Teleprompter. Oh, I guess he can't memorize his lines, huh?
Memorize his lines. The guy's a door jam. I don't know why they give him so much slack.
Well, that's because he's got a good look.
A good look?
Yeah, look at him. He looks like a little European filmmaker.
I had a good look.
Louis, no lizard, has a good look.
What are you talking about?
We're not a good-looking species.
We're not. You have no pride, Frank.
I simply know my limitations.
I am classically chiseled.
24-21. North Carolina on top of number 8 Georgia Tech. With 4 minutes and 10 seconds left, Joe Hamilton has the football at his own 38. He'll throw. He'll throw deep. And it is picked off. Intercepted. North Carolina has another turnover. Errol Hood. Wow. The 5th Georgia Tech turnover of the ball game.
Now, Arrowhead had a couple of problems early, but man, has he played an amazing game. Great concentration, great timing on knocking down a couple of long passes, and the position and the ability to stop and to get back and make that catch. Watch this here. I mean, it's all he can do at this point to keep up. But he stops, plants, and that ball comes right into the gut. Watch this. He gets behind. He gets behind Kerry Campbell. All he can do to catch up, both the awareness, the ability to turn, and make the play.
Ball was underthrown. Dominique Williams across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
You know, Rich, we're going to talk about the Heisman Trophy and, hey, how do you win this? Well, 4 minutes left, 60 yards to go. Would have been a nice formula.
Yeah, would have looked good on the resume.
It really would have.
He may get it again, but if North Carolina can run the ball as they have all day long, George O'Leary's Yellow Jackets might not see it.
Yeah, but look at the Georgia Tech defense. They've got 8 people up, 8, 9 people up in the box. They are taking that run away. If there's any success in the run, it's going to have to be the Tar Heels making it happen.
Huard to the air, Crumpler the catch, and Algie Crumpler is escorted out of bounds. It stops the clock. Chris Young made the tackle. 3rd down and about 7.
Well, again, we run into the same situation we did the last series for North Carolina. But what do? You don't want to risk a turnover to an explosive Georgia Tech team in this part of the field. But you also don't want to just kick it back to them with hardly any time taken off the clock.
You saw the timeouts. North Carolina has 2. Georgia Tech. Williams, down he goes! And Joe Hamilton will get the football back. Greg Gathers made the stop. Georgia Tech, who had 2 timeouts left, will burn another one. So the Yellow Jackets are down to 1 timeout left. They trail by 3. And we'll take a timeout. A good one going in Atlanta.
Hey, Jen, we're counting on you.
Last weekend in the Army Reserve, I had to refuel 6 Apache helicopters in 30 minutes. That got me ready to do battle on Monday.
Hey, not too shabby.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
Need brakes? Now during the Midas $40 lifetime brakes rebate, save $20 per axle or $40 for your whole car. Lifetime guaranteed $40 in savings right now. Go safely. Go Midas.
This is a rental car. It's just a car, not even your car. So what's the big difference when you're choosing? Price. You search, get the rates, and what you're really looking for is a great car at a low rate. That's Thrifty. Just the things you'd expect from a worldwide car rental company. Things like great cars, great service, airline miles, Blue Chip Express program, the works, and at a low rate. So the next time you need a rental car, call Thrifty. Just what you want, just Thrifty.
Still going. I've had marriages that didn't last this long.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $6.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Number 8, Georgia Tech, down 3. Carl Torbush in North Carolina forced a punt. Brian Schmitz has had a good day, but he gets a wobbler off here. Marvius Hester will not field it on a hop, and it rolls by him down to the 18-yard line. That is a big mistake on a 61-yard punt. Tomorrow, defending champion and former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket David Duval goes for 3 in a row at the Michelob Championship. The tournament takes place at the Kingsmill Golf Club in Williamsburg, Virginia. Tomorrow, 2 Eastern on ABC Sports.
No matter what comes of this game, Marvius Hester is going to get some instruction on the etiquette of punt return.
The wind is starting to pick up here in Atlanta. gusting at about 15 to 20. It may have affected that last throw by Hamilton. But with 3 minutes left and his team 82 yards away, Hamilton, it's deflected and intercepted. Tim Burgess. North Carolina has picked Hamilton off again.
Good pressure up on the inside. Burgess right there to get the tip ball. Wow. We'll show that. We'll show you that one again right now. Watch the inside. They're running the game here inside. Ross McAllister broke it down inside, got the hands up into the face of Joey Hamilton. Watch him inside. Tips the ball up. McAllister hands the ball. Burgess very aware of getting under, getting that interception, and a couple of yards.
Williams wrapped up at the 11. North Carolina, if they get a touchdown, obviously 2 scores is very difficult to beat. Georgia Tech, remember, burned a timeout on that last 3rd down stop.
Look at this. Look at the numbers here. North Carolina only 1 turnover. Georgia Tech with 6. But how many of those have directly led to scores? It is about 4 of them. 4 of them have led to scores. This is in no way, shape, or form what Georgia Tech's coaches or players thought would happen. They are not that type of team to turn balls over like that.
2nd down. The big fullback, Dion Dyer, inside the 5.
Look at him. Clock still running.
Georgia Tech has 1 timeout left. It's 3rd down and goal. When do you use that timeout?
When they get down around, well, let's see. It's at this point, 3rd down. See how this one plays out, and then make the decision after this play. But while it's still 3rd down and a shot at the goal line, let the clock run.
3rd and goal. Crumpler in motion. Heward. Dyer did not make it. And now Georgia Tech will burn the timeout. Nice call, Coach Gola.
You're quite welcome.
But the clock has not stopped. Look at the clock continuing to roll. They'll obviously put some seconds back on it. (24-21). North Carolina leads number 8 Georgia Tech. Don't go anywhere. Back to Atlanta after this.
Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
North Carolina, with 1:14 left, has a 3-point lead over number 8 Georgia Tech. And they have the football on the 3-yard line of Georgia Tech. But they're faced with 4th and goal. Ted Root, the defensive coordinator of Georgia Tech. Decisions being made on both sidelines.
Well, at this point, a field goal is going to give North Carolina a 6-point lead. Now, if Georgia Tech's able to drive it downfield, they got a chance to win it. Now, if North Carolina decides to go for this, go for the touchdown, and that will put it out of reach.
And it looks like they will go for the touchdown. Ronald Curry is out for the season. Not just football, but it sounds like basketball with a ruptured Achilles. Redshirt freshman Luke Heward has played well.
If they do not make this, they'll be in no worse shape than if they kick the field goal.
4th and goal. Heward bobbled it. Dyer, he won't make it. Georgia Tech has stopped. Change of possession will stop the clock. And Joe Hamilton has 1:10 to go, 97 yards without a timeout.
Well, they have got a long way to go. We've seen what Joey Hamilton can do. in mere seconds. They've got a long way to go, a lot of yardage to cover, even to get in a field goal position.
Hamilton last year engineered 4 fourth-quarter comebacks. Clemson, 6th-ranked Virginia, 12th-ranked Georgia, 17th-ranked Notre Dame.
Remember, 2 long passes to Kelly Campbell for touchdowns.
From his end zone, Hamilton across the middle. It's Campbell. He's 20. He's 30. Clock will stop as they move the chains. 1 minute left. By going for it, North Carolina has left themselves vulnerable
to a tie.
Hamilton spikes it. Surprising with a minute left.
Yeah.
Second down and 10.
I think what Joey Hamilton is seeing now is that the North Carolina defense is playing back. I don't want to say it's prevent, but they're certainly opening themselves up a little bit more. As you saw in the last one, Kelly Campbell wide open over the middle. Hey, get the ball to him, and with his running ability, really able to do a lot with it.
Hamilton, lots of time. Got a man, a tumbling catch. Des White at the 40. The clock continues to run. This is where that spike comes into play. It's now a 3rd down.
40 seconds.
Hamilton going to go deep. Campbell got it! To the 25-yard line.
Well, we talked about the Joey Hamilton-Des White connection, but when people cover Des, Kelly Campbell is right there to take up the slack.
Clock will start on the ready for play. Kelly Campbell suddenly drops to a knee, and I think the Georgia Tech wide receiver has cramps. And this gives Hamilton an opportunity to come out and talk to George O'Leary. Georgia Tech does not have a timeout left.
Well, when Coach Torbush made the decision to go for it on 4th down for the touchdown, he knew that there was a possibility of their making it down in field goal position. Take a look at the end of this play. As he came down, looked like Horton came up on the back of his leg, maybe kicked and bruised him a little bit.
Georgia Tech has to be aware that they've started the clock, and I'm not sure they know that. The clock is rolling. It's down to 20 seconds. Hamilton, he'll keep it, and he's out of bounds at the 19-yard line. 13 seconds left in this ball game.
Quincy Monk came right up the middle, blitzed up the middle, untouched. Unfortunately, one thing that Joey Hamilton can do very well is make one person miss pretty easily.
13 seconds left. 2nd down, 4. Remember, Luke Monje, the Georgia Tech kicker, has missed both field goal attempts today. Hamilton. Campbell. Out of the end zone. It's incomplete.
That was very close. Take a look at it again right at the end of the play. Watch the feet. He's already stepped out of bounds before he's even got the ball in his hands.
And George O'Leary has seen enough. With 8 seconds left and without a timeout, he will bring on his field goal kicker. North Carolina has called the timeout.
Well, you know, Monje has missed 2. But those actually don't matter right now, do they?
From 40 and from 39 yards. This will be from 36 yards. On the season, he is 2 of 5.
You know, I've talked to a lot of kickers over the years and asked them about the whole icing thing, icing the kicker, calling the timeout. And most of the kickers I've talked to, in fact, every one of them I've talked to says, I don't mind it. Doesn't bother me. It gives me a little time to get a feel of how the wind's blowing, get a look at the grass, the turf.
I would surmise that most of the kickers you've spoken with were not true freshmen like Luc Monge.
Okay, maybe one.
Your point is well taken, though. Monge,
when somebody talks to him down the road, I'm sure he'll say that.
And I'm sure he's hoping that he'll be able to use this as a reference point. Georgia Tech, number 8 in the country, needs this field goal to see an overtime against North Carolina. It is up. It is good. The freshman from Conyers, Georgia, hits the field goal. It is 24-24. And the gamble that Carl Torbush took by going for it on 4th and goal has backfired.
Yeah, he felt that there was not any accuracy today in Monge's leg, and that they were able to keep him out of any kind of close enough area to make it an easier field goal. Now that Hamilton-Campbell connection got them down in position, and Monge not only did he make that, but he made it with a vengeance. He put that through and bounced it off the back wall of the stadium.
Seconds left on the game clock. So North Carolina and Carl Torbush looks like they're headed for overtime. What an incredible day emotionally for Torbush and his Tar Heels. They've lost their quarterback Ronald Curry for the season with a ruptured Achilles. They had their middle linebacker Mercedes Perry go out with a shoulder injury. They come out and take the lead over number 8 Georgia Tech, only to see a Heisman Trophy candidate rally Georgia Tech back on top. And then the Tar Heels get off the canvas, take a 3-point lead. Monge has just tied the game.
So barring a kickoff return for a touchdown, it looks like a little overtime.
Drive. It's picked up by Antoine Black. Black lost the football. My goodness. There's no time on the clock, so this thing is headed to overtime. All together now, deep breath. We are headed to overtime in Atlanta. On homecoming, Georgia Tech and North Carolina, 24-24. We're back after this.
Where will you be when the millennium turns? Your dreams change. So have we. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level. The world will change, but at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we will always measure success, one investor at a time.
Listen here, baby. I only want a burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire.
Restyled 2000 Sunfire. A hotter set of wheels, money left to burn. By Pontiac.
A wild ride in Atlanta. 24-24. Georgia Tech, North Carolina. Georgia Tech, number 8 in the country. Just to refresh your memory, as we head to the overtime, it's not sudden death. The clock is off. Each team gets a possession starting on the opponent's 25-yard line. You repeat the process until the tie is broken. If you get to the third overtime and it's still tied, if a team scores a touchdown, they must go for 2. Prevailing strategy on the coin toss. If you win it, you want to be on defense for the first overtime.
Because then you, as a team, know how many points you have to score to win it.
Same coin, head and the tail. Head and the tail. Whose call lights in the air? Heads was called. Here's the head. What do you want? You want to play defense. You'll be on offense. Which goal do you want to play at?
This one down here.
You want to play down here?
Yes,
okay, defense over here, offense over here.
Georgia Tech football.
So North Carolina
wait till we play back.
Will be on defense. They won the toss. True freshman Luke Monjay, who had missed 2 previous kicks for Georgia Tech today. With 8 seconds left, this to force the overtime. And the youngster out of Conyers, Georgia, just got it in. A long day of college football in Atlanta is not done yet. Number 8 Georgia Tech and North Carolina headed to overtime when we get back.
This is the one you waited for.
Are you telling me that the guy who stabbed me might still be out there?
The one that will answer all your questions. An all-new Practice, ABC Sunday, 10/9 Central.
Over the years, a lot of businesses have put their names on one line of trucks. The one that offers the most powerful V10. The one that was first to offer quad cab versatility. And the longest lasting full-size pickup on the road. We understand this name thing. We're pretty fussy about what we put ours on, too. Dodge Ram. Different.
Aha! I've done it!
What is it, Professor?
I've discovered a way to get all long-distance calls for only 99 cents.
99 cents? Impossible.
Observe. I simply dial 10-10-220, then 1 and the number, and all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents.
And after 20 minutes?
It's just 9 cents a minute.
That's genius.
I know. Who asked you?
Discover 10-10-220 for yourself.
I do about 70,000 miles a year in this car, and I go through a lot of tires. My name is Louis LeBeau, and I drive this cab for a living. I'm also a volunteer fireman. I use this cab to get the fires. Whenever I have to spend money on this car, it comes out of my pocket. He's a top-of-the-line Goodyear. They got him at Walmart. They got BF Goodrich, Goodyear. They got Michelin. That's where I got him right there. I sent my daughter in there for tires and oil changes. I know they'll treat her right. We got name-brand tires and oil and great prices.
For the Walmart Tire and Lube store, come around to the back door.
How you gonna beat that?
Anchors Monica Kaufman and John Pruitt, only on Channel 2 Action News.
On to overtime. First play of overtime, Philip Rogers of Georgia Tech out of bounds at the 17-yard line. The initial possession by Georgia Tech. North Carolina will get a possession from the 25. Once George O'Leary's Yellow Jackets have their possession. Joe Hamilton. And Georgia Tech playing the first overtime game in their history. Hamilton to the 10. He's down to the 9. Tim Burgess made the stop.
And, you know, looking at this and looking what these teams have been able to do in this part of the field certainly lends itself to Georgia Tech maybe having a little advantage.
Which is one of the arguments against this format of overtime. Carl Torbush, who is also the defensive coordinator at North Carolina. First and goal from the 9. Rogers to the 6.
Good job, Sherrod Peace staying at home on the backside, making sure that cutback didn't pick up too much. But still, a couple of yards closer to the end zone on the second down.
Hamilton, his total yardage over 300. He's averaging 329, and he surpassed that today. Overtime statistics do count. Quarterback draw. Hamilton is in. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. And the Yellow Jackets score first in overtime. North Carolina, on their possession, must get a touchdown.
Very nice call. Very nice call. Georgia Tech with his running ability and with the way they had it spread out, the wide receiver spread, they knew there'd be a little room for him to maneuver.
Monge's extra point was deflected and good. My goodness. Nothing is easy today in Atlanta.
Here it is one more time. Quarterback draw. Look at that. Good pressure up on the outside, but that middle is left wide open. Safety's having to come up and make the play. Billy D. Greenwood. It is. The center is wide open. You've got to stay in the face of this kind of quarterback. You can't let him have vision downfield, especially when there's only 6 yards between him and the goal line.
All right, Bob Golick. Luke Huard, the redshirt freshman quarterback for North Carolina, must get a touchdown.
Well, they've been running two run plays and a pass. Just staying very traditional. They've got to break that.
Huard finds his fullback, Dion Dyer, and he's out of bounds. Not a big game.
And Rich, I think you'll agree with me. They were getting kind of predictable down there. First and second down, they ran the ball. Third down, they passed the ball. And it just seemed like Georgia Tech knew what they were doing and adjusted their defense accordingly.
North Carolina was playing with the lead and trying to run clock.
Right.
Now they're playing for their lives. Huard deflected, incomplete. A turnover ends the ball game. It's third down.
Deflected, but still off the hands of Algie Crumpler. Also a short boot back left side. The timing on the pass disrupted a little bit. Anthony Josephson with the deflection.
4 of 17 on third down. Obvious four-down territory here. Blitz coming. Huard. End zone. Incomplete, and North Carolina is down to fourth down.
Well, fourth down was about 6 yards to go.
The Tar Heels will call a timeout.
This has not been a very productive area of the field, as we've said before. You know, it just seems that when you can't stretch the Georgia Tech defense out, when they have the ability to stay condensed because it's a short field, they respond a little bit better. You can't find any cracks to beat them on.
Time permitting, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car post-game report featuring scores and highlights from across the country. John Saunders and Terry Bowden. Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. North Carolina has lost its starting quarterback, Ronald Curry. Luke Huard, the redshirt freshman, in overtime, was faced with fourth down and 6. Georgia Tech's defense, with a stop here, wins the ball game.
Either way, both of these teams will be going back to the drawing board next week and looking at some, North Carolina looking at some very good things they did right. And some questions about possession that Georgia Tech will have to look at. Here we go, fourth down.
Blitz coming. Huard throwing. It's incomplete. Georgia Tech wins it. have survived Carl Torbush and North Carolina, 31-24.
Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't feel any better taking a loss away from this stadium. But Carl Torbush can stand up tall, and his players can stand tall this next week as they look at what they did against the Yellow Jackets.
Georgia Tech, number 8 in the country now, moves to 4-1. Final snap on 4th down.
Here it is. He was throwing a little comeback over to the left side of your screen, but he threw it too far outside and low.
Incomplete ball game. Georgia Tech beats North Carolina 31-24. For Bob Golick, I'm Rich Waltz. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence. Georgia Tech in overtime.
What an extraordinary performance.
They won the Stanley Cup. The Indianapolis 500. Best final round ever.
Touchdown, touchdown.
Incredible.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence.
Tonight at 8, 7 Central. Kurt Russell.
Enough nerve agent here to wipe out half the eastern seaboard.
Steven Seagal.
There's a hatch on the belly of the 747. We could dock there.
And Halle Berry in the blockbuster event.
We're not going to make it.
Executive Decision. Tonight at 8, 7 Central on the ABC Big Picture Show. A great movie every Saturday night. Parental discretion advised.
Consumers prepared for battle. Monday at 5 on Channel 2 Action News. They built a home.
We trusted the people, and we were wrong to do so.
She rented an apartment.
The collection lady called and said, well, you know they're going to sue you.
Wanting a home made their lives a disaster until they fought back.
People don't realize their rights.
I'll show you how to protect yourself.
Clark Howard's Consumers Fight Back. Monday at 5 on Channel 2 Action News. Coverage you can count on.
You're watching ESPN Classic.
For Florida State, the '89 premiere could have been titled Nightmare in Tallahassee. With an 0-2 start, the Seminoles were a critical failure. The reviews were horrible, and many wondered, would FSU be this year's bomb? But Bobby Bowden regrouped and released Return of the Seminole. And so far, the results suggest a box office smash. Florida State has reeled off 4 straight wins and now seem ready and able to reclaim their status as one of college football's elite. Die Hard is the mold in which the Auburn Tigers are cast. Under the direction of Pat Dye, Auburn is a team designed for defense and destruction. Blessed with talent and built for success, the Tigers are deserving of their 4-star rating. Only a pair of lethal weapons could grab top billing in this Saturday night showdown. Peter Tom Willis is the star of the Seminole attack, while Reggie Slack leads Auburn where only Eagles dare. Tonight in Tallahassee. Right there has never been beaten 3 times in a row by anybody on his schedule since being at Auburn University. He must win tonight to keep that record alive. And for Bobby Bowden, well, his ball club lost the first 2. They have now rolled with 4 straight victories. And as he said on defense, he said we kind of turned them loose just a little bit. The weather, magnificent. It has been cold here in northern Florida. But for this evening, 61 degrees, wind chill factor. Well, you see it, it's still very comfortable. No chance of rain, that's the most important thing. But the temperature tonight will drop down into the low 40s before this ball game is concluded. So a few sweaters at the ballpark.